I cut it there because I just didn't want to let it go the entire time. Good evening, good morning, more appropriately, and welcome back to the Zephyr watch party of the Octane competitions that be. Guys, we have officially made it. We have gone down the stretch. We have watched all of Stage 1. We have watched the regular season of all of Stage 2. And it is finally time. I don't know if you heard Lewis. Lewis screamed. It is finally time for the Octane Semifinals. 40 teams enter, 20 teams leave, 8 separate games, 2 on every single map we've got competitively running. Let me go down the list here while you guys are here. Nezetia, good to see you. Also say your name. Speed Demon as well. We've got Soares, Kayak, Toxic. We got, my cat. Speed Demon with a 50 stream streak. Thank you so much, Speed. 50 streams is no joke. How is Lewis? Lewis is a beggar. He is a big baby beggar. Atmoside, welcome. Zeph, good to see you. Time for Sac State to shock the world. Well, Arcs, thank you so much for the follow, and I hope that is today, because honestly, with Bofer on that roster, there's no reason they shouldn't. Kayak, always a pleasure as well. Hold on, folks. Let me rip open my second chat window. Make sure we got that going ready here. There we go. We're about 5 minutes out from the start of the game, so it's time for ACU to shock the world. If by ACU shock the world you mean show up and not play any of the match days and then get round one-ed, what a shock. So, I picked this lobby in particular, guys, because it is definitely the one of storylines here, right? We do not have the defending champion in this lobby of Ottawa, but we do have Fisher, Southern Mississippi, Cumberland as your top 3 dominating squads. You got the whole SEC roster, Rusty, and the damaging dastardly foes there. West Virginia Wesleyan, their roster change with why Envy this split has now ballooned into, hopefully, a finals position. The Minnesota State Mavericks, the change with Meadsy, that's pushed them all the way to the top 6 overall in this lobby. You got none other than CSUF. You've got San Jose State, TMU Bold, UCF Knights, some beautiful faces from the Premier League, Iowa State Farmers, RIT Orange. But then we start to get into some fun. Sac State, UCSC, well, not UCSC, but William and, no, not them either, Charlotte Niners. There's a couple of teams here that were competing in contenders all throughout the year. And not only that, NCAT Esports and Purdue Austin Poe are still alive in the competition from Tier 3 from Open League. Paul, good to see you, Paul. Toxic, you get your name redeemed there. And of course, we got some hydrates. I'll grab a hydration here in just a second because I don't have any water on hand. That being said, it's our first match day. It's our first thing. You guys love predictions. Over, under. That's right. Let's do a 7.0. My mom's watching. Your mother is watching your college. That's so supportive. Not the players. You. That's very interesting. All right. I put 5 minutes up on the board. Over under a 7.0 quality score. Thoughts on my montage? I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm thinking about making a montage about Abilene Christian University, and it's just T-Dobbs partying. Guys, I'm just surprised you spent the money on the split. Albeit, I guess you spent the money on fall and the whole thing. You didn't realize it was going to kind of to fall that way. You know what I mean? Anyways, without further ado. Okay, never mind. We're still late. All right. 2 seconds then. I'm gonna go grab me a beautiful little drink to hydrate for Soares. stay out here. Come back inside. Come back inside. Come back in. All right, I'm back. I've come with the gremlin as the match is just getting started here. Look at this little boy. You excited for some semifinals today? You smell breakfast? He smells breakfast. All right, go ahead. Now, a reminder to the folks at home, if I gift a sub, can Lewis cast a game? The annoying thing is that would just be me torturing him the whole time, like holding him to the microphone and all this sad thing. So no, I don't really want to force him to do that. I do want to make this clear though before we start. It is a 2-2-2-2 start today. We got Olympus, World's Edge, E-District, Storm Point. 2 games on each here. Just put the mic on the cat. He doesn't really do that. Now, Charlotte Niners will not be here today to start, and even UCSC Chopped is missing one. Henbone! Hey, Henbone, check it out. Take a look at the left side of the stream. Look at that. You got your name on screen now. You're an active participant, just like anyone else. What's up, Parksa? Welcome to semifinals. Suarez, here you go. Here's your redemption. Zephyr, I'm a solo Zephyr. Oh, that's awful. For those who don't know, what Parks is referring to is that there is a secondary lobby. Because there are 40 teams, there is going to be a split between the lobbies. I can't cover all of the action at the same time. So if you're interested in checking out what's taking place in the other top 20 teams in Collegiate Apex, that is over on Happy's channel, as well as, really quickly, let me check. It's also going to be on... Hold on. Don't worry, I got this. Should be on Happy, Bellevue's, Ottawa, or Augusta's. There you go. Now, KQL will find that first knock onto Fishy here. Remember, the Chopped roster's living up to the name right from the get-go here. They are not looking too hot right off of the bat. They're missing an entire player today. So there's the full thirst coming on over from TMU Bold, and they'll make you swallow that dirt if it means the end of Chop. Now, they did run away here. They are going to try to play this one back towards Dockyards, but St. Clair Saints are nearby, UCF Knights, and worse than that, guys, you got the zone. All right, zone is pulling directly towards that Oasis side of the map. Trying to get out safely for Callum is going to be a nightmare. I wouldn't personally put myself right next to the Marvin. I feel like that is... Oh, okay. Well, we'll see if he survives or if St. Clair Saints find their way against him here in just a second. We do get a little peek of that secondary scan of zone. It is going to be a dominant Oasis finish. Feels bad for Chopped. Chopped had all the time in the world to get their roster available for today and find appropriate substitutes. But instead of having a dominant position in the heart of zone, they will be the first team eliminated. Like I said, St. Clair Saints, a quick rotate and a final finish. Now, TMU Bold and the UCF Knights. UCF Knights out of Florida, TMU out of Toronto. They're going to host the direct buildings that be here. Now, granted, this is still early. We could see a TMU Bold trade with UCF Knights, but remember, this is the highest level of competition at this point. You don't get a lot of time to make these trades. You take too much time, you are going to be wrapped by another roster. By the way, in the kill feed, it does look like Future Streams and Slasher will wipe out Revy and Arcosity, which tells me that NCAT is struggling. Looks like we will see the rest of those rosters arrive just as quickly. Sac State, St. Clair Saints, West Virginia Wesleyan here, U Ottawa Garnet, They've all picked up a position within the Oasis area. There's not a single team that's not going to be playing center of zone today. All right? The competition matters most here, and you've got squads like Western Outlaws stacked up down below. Now, future streams, double knocks here from Cumberland. It is none other than Fisher Esports caught out here on the edge of zone. That's already Slothulous and Dom 2 cracked. A nice execution from Slasher there. And it is going to be one remaining member of that Fisher roster. Golden, his name. I don't know where he went. I don't know where he is. Down and over towards the Grow Towers, our map reveals. Iowa State Farmers and William and Mary. Those are going to be the only other two teams alongside SJSU, Fisher, and NCAT. We didn't play our best Thursday, but hopefully we win finals next week. Paul, what roster do you play for? Also, how did West Virginia Wesleyan get down here? All right, whatever. We'll get to it in a second. Apparently, they're trading. Paul, what roster? Oh, you play for Texarkana. Understood. Are you crazed? Are you... I'm trying to remember all the names. Wow. Zach? Oh, okay. You're Zachary. You spell it with the E-R-Y. Fisher Esports here. They just got these revives outside of Grow Towers. I'll tell you guys, if you don't know Fisher Esports, they are the most aggressive team. But today, it's looking like there's a lot of zone play. Ring will be the first one to wipe out NCAT Esports, and that is one of our open rosters. If you don't know what open means, it is the lowest level of Collegiate Apex. We've got open, contenders, and Premier League. Only 2 open rosters remain in semifinals, NCAT and none other than Purdue Austin Poe. Oh, and of course, Nazetia. Thank you for the subscription to Lewis is the Cat Meow. How long did it take you to find that? Nez, I know you're on here. All right, we'll get to it in a second. Somehow, West Virginia Wesleyan, they're going to go down just as quickly as anybody else in this lobby, and that is not a strong start for the West Virginia roster, but just on the outside, it's a nice peek from Western Outlaws. A combined chunk of damage, though, because UCF Knights are also up above on the stairwell. We'll poke back on over to the other side of the UCF Knights. Got a couple long-range shots there. Now, notably, it was Q Requaz who got that knock on to Truthfully. I don't know if we'll actually see your extend here. Trident has been blown out. So, for CSUF, there's no chance to get out of this. Another knock. That'll be allow this time. A huge crack on the caustic. And for you just need one last tap there. That's going to be one pickup for CF. Meanwhile, the rest of this lobby will deliver. That is Fisher Esports caught out on the edge. FW Gary, Cumberland University currently hosts none other than Future Streams, Slasher, and Syken. That is that primary roster's participants. Of course, Nazetia, thank you so much for tuning in while you did have the chance. Genuinely. Well, damn. Talk about a rough start for some of our players. Nikosu, I know you're not in my lobby, but it is good to see you. Wild Panda Haas, we missed you last week, bud. And by last week, I mean like 2 days ago. Now, speaking of Nikosu, let's tune in with his roster. SJSU caught out by the Minnesota State Mavericks here, south side of Oasis. It's already a drop onto arguably the head fragger of the team. It is going to be Southern Mississippi, though, right alongside him here. They're playing the interior, and I don't know if they're going to go for the full commit, but they got to be careful. One good altar port play and one push to go with it. And you could see that Minnesota-Mississippi fight explode here. Little jump back from Zach W. Keys. Trying to get a full regrouping here of Thales as well. Take that Kingdom Come where they find it, but Minnesota are going to find themselves a Castle Crasher. Speed Demon here on the other side. Beams on to Biz as he might die. A drop from behind the back, but another follow-through from Speed Demon. In a 1v1, though, he's just too low. The Mavericks will be wiped out by none other than Southern Mississippi, and it's Group G and the Iowa State Farmers. No harm, no foul. Phallus will fall. There's the scan play from Not Koryu, and it is just Zach W. Keys again here. Only 50 health to his name, and Southern Mississippi will not be joining us. Guys, I talked about aggression. It does not look... it is absolute chaos right now. Cumberland University. By the way, Wild Panda Hoss, there's a little hydrate for you. And also, good to see you. W third party, perfect execution. The only problem with that third party is how quickly you saw the roundabout from Cumberland. All right? Western Outlaws and St. Clair Saints have been the benefactors of the low ground this entire game here. West Virginia Wesleyan was sticking it out for quite some time, but did not have much more to last on. U Ottawa Garnet, kind of a rough season for Lund, Faustus, Festus, and Booker, but they have managed to get here, I believe, through that lower bracket, surviving all the way through. Now, SJSU, Cumberland, Iowa State Farmers, and William & Mary Esports will round out the 4 out of 12 teams that are not in zone right now. Speed Demon, please. All right, whatever. You're probably fine. I was going to say, you're already dead. As long as you're already dead, we're good. Well, Iowa, we saw Kamal drop there. He is put back together. All the King's horses and all the King's men, all good. Zephyr at work, but tuned in. 2-3. My goat. My absolute legend. Some would say 5. I say 2-3. Some would say 23. I say 2-3. Some would say 21. I would say 21. All right, I'm showing my age. You can't blame me. Speed Demon, I can't blame you for jack shit. You also just double dropped USM. Very, very promising start for you. Just woke up, thought the games were later. Baltica. Good luck on the catch up, Baltica. You gotta check that. Gotta check that. Now, I will say, this is looking like more of a carrier finish with its pull upwards towards that northern side. Little does Iowa State Farmers maybe know or didn't know, they make that rotate for a lot of these teams sitting on the western edge, right? This hillside right here with Purdue Asimpo, it's going to be very hard to last, but hey, a Nox gas grenade from Forey might be the difference maker. A drop from Balling Cat, and while there will be a trade of 1, shots in the back from none other than RIT will wipe out Purdue. The Boilermakers tracks run short here. Why? Why? Now, some of Oasis is still in, but for teams like St. Clair Saints, that was a bad rotate, and it might be getting worse here. The Western Outlaws, they know this northern side has been the battle of these two titans. This is tough. St. Clair are still in it. We'll pop on over to Sac State with this late rotate in from teams like SJSU. Couple of big beams around the back, and that's going to be Viking Cap with a knock on to Requaz there. Bofer, though, the legend, the Pro League experienced player. I mean, barely makes an exchange there. A lot of that KP actually finds its way over on a twofer there. Sac State, though, will still find the end of SJSU. And we've got 9 squads. OI, welcome to the channel, my friend. OI, everyone give some love to OI. OI is working his butt off every single day to make sure that Octane Collegiate can run smoothly, to get us prepared for Cincinnati. There's not a single person who's working harder than OI. If we didn't have OI, we wouldn't have the best collegiate competition in the entire nation. Heck, in North America. Cumberland University, they've managed to slip into the first floor just below the University of Central Florida here. Western Outlaws, TMU, they end up being the only other pieces inside the zone. All other 5 squads, this one fights its way back to OI. By the way, it's pronounced Bass Lilith. Liath? I'll do my best. Zephyr's added himself another 3 gifted subs tomorrow. Good glaze. Whoa. All right. Hold your fort. Second one, Basliath. All right. Thank you, Arcs. I appreciate that. Now, everybody's trying to fight their way in. A team like William and Mary, they've already found their success against U Ottawa Garnet. But hey, a 9th place finish for U Ottawa is not a bad start. Iowa State, no help to them on their rotate. They've already lost a few pieces of the puzzle. You have to wonder if they will set this one back up. TMU Bold, they're the squad that calls themselves home just above ISU Farmers here. RIT Orange. There they go. Defending the rotates from Carrier. We saw them with their knocks onto Purdue Osimpo, and all they need is this triple take, not the Mozambiques, to finish the job. It is going to be Not Rowan with that final full thirst there, alongside Western Outlaws against the ISU Farmers. William and Mary, they don't want to take their chances. They'll go to the sky and utilize that Valkyrie to survive. This is a tough zone. The high ground from Oasis is going to be the spot you want to play. The only problem, folks, we've still got 6 squads here, all stuck inside Oasis proper. Cumberland University, they know they need their backside clear. They cannot be rotating into this zone with the University of Central Florida above them. They need to wipe out the Knights to guarantee themselves a spot in zone. Future Streams with a drop on to Ur. Meanwhile, Beaufort's got a long-range knock on a Magic Trickster. Guarantee you will be counting the end of the Knights here in just a second. Yeah, Cumberland's for the full push. There's a big beam around the back. The gas does tick its way over. Beaufort will finish off William and Mary. You're still knocked down here, and the gas will only last for so long. 27 seconds and an EMP play to slow Cumberland again here. Still, Future Streams for the teleport. A knock of return from the phase. Another peek from the play of the altar here, and Slasher is low. Gonna have to take the time to battery this one up. That might be a saving grace to get your back into the fight here. Cumberland University, though, they make quicker decisions. Future's already back up into play. So, if the UCF Knights didn't make that move, they are worse for wear. Preemptively telling you to watch your POV before next game starts for our early game in game 2. All right. Make sure to watch ISU. Apparently something. Well, sadly, Cumberland and UCF, they didn't settle their differences. The same for TMU Bold and the Western Outlaws here. Western, they've got it even worse. They've got to make the altar teleport play all the way to that first floor of the Oasis building. There's a couple of cracks, but the minute they jump into the zone, everybody will thrive. Here's the full fight, die or live. Toronto will be the first to fall on the exchange. The Yurt, the FaZe, pieces of Central Florida already out on the side. Cumberland will bide their time. 2 on the other end. A knock of 1 on to the likes of Sac State. A full send, and Q Requaz might be almost done. A nice gas trap is blown out by Future Streams, but they will still take a brunt of damage. It's none other than Bass here. Full knocks. There's no way but to jump down to play. RIT Orange, though, from above, they are the healthiest. The port's down below. Sac State wiped out. Parsnip traded. A 45 beam. It's Rochester for game 1. You know, I almost forgot the Tigers. Did you know a jungle predator lies in wait, doesn't make a sound, and strikes when the moment is right? Jack, Parsnips, Not Rowan, the benefactors, the deciders, the debilitators, and the winners of Game 1. Congratulations to RIT. They not only did that, by the way, with the wipe, they actually were the team that wiped out Purdue Osimpo here. Let's pop on over to that scoreboard because I already see on my second monitor, we've got that game starting here. Here's the quick refresh. 21 points for RIT Orange, 9 KP to their name. Cumberland University, 20 as well there, 11. Shores up a little bit of that difference. And yes, Sac State in third. They are going to round that out at 17. No one else comes close on the double digits. We got 7 points tied for Western Outlaws and TMU Bold. UCF Knights tied with William and Mary. But still, remember, folks, 8 games, 7 left to go. Tay, thank you so much. Tay G himself. I appreciate that follow. You've taken me to 2,138 followers. How did Fisher die? Fisher took too long on the rotate, and they got wiped out by Cumberland. It was a Cumberland first starting, and then when they tried to get a couple of revives off, Cumberland was just waiting. So Purdue are frauds today, Travis. You know what? Right now, 15th overall with 1 point. We'll see. All right, I asked you guys over under a 7. Everybody bet on the over except for one person. It was a 2.97. This is an insane dub. Suarez has just walked away with 9,170 points, and I guarantee you he's going to drop them strictly on hydration. All right, let's make this simple. RIT, over under 4.5 KP. Here you go. Over under. That's going to be our bet for the next game. Get your bets in while you have a chance. 2 minutes on the board. And let's get back in to game number 2. Oh, hey, we're not quite there yet. I'm rushing. All right. Full 20 team lobby. Yep, the Charlotte Niners have officially woken up, by the way. I will say, though, why you do say full 20 team lobby, there is still a missing player for UCSC Chopped. So that will be that kind of one blemish you do see, not on the lobby, but just like of a team today. I don't know why they do not have their third. We're going to have to interrogate. Michael Wake Up Gangi. That is true. Michael YP. I was about to say Callum is here. Fishy is here. Michael still asleep. Yeah. All right. Well, can't be as bad as UIUC. I believe Parks has started game 1 completely alone today. Let me throw up. For later, we'll touch on it. Kennesaw Black did win game 1 with 12 KP. Bellevue in second place with 10 KP. And UCSD Gold, they actually walk away in 5th place, but their 14 KP puts them at 18 overall. So, Kennesaw Black 24, Bellevue 19, UCSD Gold 18. Both lobbies will be banning out the altar today. And remember, we didn't really talk about it, but because it is an 8-game series, the bans are going to get a little bit crazy here. One, more teams take it seriously. More teams play comp-driven Apex at the highest level. So, it's very, very likely here that as we go through, we're probably going to see... Zephyr blessing me today? That's right, 8 games. But yeah, as we go through, it's very likely we're going to start to see the comps tend to kind of like split apart. Is Purdue Black in this game? If by that you mean Purdue Asenpo... Purdue Asenpo's here, okay? Purdue Black, though, I believe is in the other lobby today. Yeah, Purdue Black started with 0 points. They're in 20th in Lobby B. No, they're dog. Bye, I'm going to Waukees stream. That's fair, Matthew. Now, ISU Farmers, we talked about an early start for them. Group T came in and warned us that we might actually see something this early. All I'm seeing is not Koryu almost dying right off of the rip. So, I mean, we took Fisher's Trident. Was that the silly? I'm not kidding you. This might end up with the ISU dying. All because they did was take a Trident. Well, there's the Arc Star out. Fisher's going to put in some serious damage, but... they knew Fisher was going to jump the I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if this was worth sacrificing your entire early game. Well, ISU, the next closest team to them is going to be Minnesota State Mavericks here outside of Hammond. We do get to take a look at zone. This one, a little bit of a split, but more predominantly towards that Grow Towers area. Fisher, NCAT, and yes, winners of game one, RIT, already in that secondary zone, whether they know it or not. William and Mary. Little smoke play out. Thoric Spinks might be going away here. Need to give him that coverage. Iowa State Farmers, they actually took the portal. Oh my gosh. All right, we got the Iowa State Farmers. Never say never. Iowa State Farmers, again, they take the rift. They're already all the way out towards the northern side. And you know what? Let the boys play. Let the boys play however they sit and say. It's a confusing start, but it is one that will set them up for success. SJSU Blue outside of the energy. They've got a scan right against them from Fisher Esports here. We saw the push play from Iowa. Now, ooh, the Arc Star, oh so close from landing on the Trident. I will say, though, you do have CSUF on the other side here. Nice beam from Golden directly onto the meaty flesh of SJSU. Like it or not, if SJSU keep heading that direction, Fullerton should be waiting with open arms, popping off the Trident. It's the gas traps down, and yes, Fullerton on the other side of this one. A couple of Wraith plays, a PK shot right on the hood. Viking Cap, the first thirst against SJSU. And the Fullerton roster are here to squash the competition. Now, there is still that partial split of SJSU. Shmub is up above. But CSUF, they found ton of clay here. There's the nice burn on the gas. No thermite, and another Trident taken by Fullerton. This time, though, Fisher has finally moved in from the east. A knock of one, another burn into Tridents, and Fisher are going to find double blasts against them there. One little scan on the knock already as Golden and Sloth will slide on through for not only the full finish, but also a wipe on the Crimson Monk here. This is the Fisher we were expecting to see today when we tuned into game one. They're making a return on Olympus, and most of these teams are not rotating nearly as fast as they did in that first game. Sadly, the first game's already held its influence, folks. A lot of these teams feel the pressure of the KP last game where we only had 14 or so squads alive, and they're realizing to survive into the top 10, you might need to get a little bit more aggressive. Now, SJSU, they reeve-dived out of Phase Driver here. That doesn't solve their rotation in, but it's better. Swami, welcome to the Collegiate Semifinals. This is College Apex. You got some of the best universities across America and Canada competing for over $5,000. There will be a grand finals in Cincinnati, Ohio, etc. We do say our farewells to William and Mary, caught out there inside of the rift, never really quite able to get out of the POI as a whole. And, I mean, sadly, William and Mary, they did survive to semifinals, but when you start to compare them to the upper limits of Premier League, yes, they're better than a lot of teams, not quite as good as some of them. Never knew there was College Apex. This is interesting. Well, hey, whether it's Get on Watson or Sonophobia. Sonophobia, if you want to ask any questions, I'm happy to answer them, whether it be storylines, the history of some of these teams, where they've played. I mean, it's the most interesting. It's probably more interesting than Pro League, in my opinion, because best part about college, the teams do not change up. Now, SJSU Blue, they get gate kept out of the western side here. Dom is full committing in the zone to finish off the entirety of San Jose State. Fisher Esports, I mean, come on. Sorrow Fate, by the way, thank you for the follow. I probably got a UCSC transcript around here. Let me sub. There we go. Dom's not really landing those ones, but I will say closing the gap with the alternator will make this a much better try. Already dropping down the lifeline ultimate for the quick reset with the battery. No longer needs the pressure of the zone there. Fisher Esports also trying to wrap this from the other side. Got to be careful. Purdue Asimpo. That's the team that was in here. And hey! 2-3! Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. A1 Ezek, Diesel, Arnold, Aces, ton of clay from SJSU, who just got wiped out, by the way. Thank you so much. Sorrow Fate, good luck in PSQs today if you're playing, my brother. Genuinely. And if you're just watching, enjoy them. I do a lot of analytical work for ALGS, and there's some fun stuff going on there today. 2-3, I need you to pick a color, or 2, or 3 for the sign, brother, because we got to add you to the sign. Yeah, you're going back to work. 2-3, pick a color before you go. Before you go, brother. Red. See, this is a man of my liking. Best color on earth. All right, Minnesota State Mavericks gatekeeping Fisher here, and that's not a bite you want on your reel. Fisher Esports, albeit they are birds. It's a kingfisher. Not a team I'd be going up against. We got 2. How many O's? 3 O's. How many E's? 3 E's. Perfect. 2-3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you so much. We'll pop back on over to Cumberland because they've got their own pressure ed. Sac State, a drop on the Raquaz, and the Charlotte Niners, who have actually just woken up. I'm not kidding you, folks. They just woke up. They were sleepy maxing before this game. Fisher Esports, they've got a Nox gas grenade against them, and Minnesota State Mavericks continue to try to choke out the Kingfishers here. The Mavericks, they've got pressure in their own right, but that Nox gas grenade is not finding the best kind of purchase it needs. Minnesota already taking the time to heal, and this was the opportunity for Fisher to get these knocks. Still, thermites on either end of the bend there. Nice peek, though, from Dom Cracked, the southern side of the Tride. This will be the full send to go with it. Speed Demon knocked, a full burn on Amidzi, and the Mavericks will be wiped in 17th overall. Talk about a clustered zone. Now, NCAT Esports, as we jump into them, I'm going to refresh y'all's knowledge. This is a team that has survived the onslaught. They have thrived against the real competition here. Yo, Aces. Hey, congratulations on the sub. Welcome to the stream. We got College Apex. Enjoy being a Zephyrcast sub. Now, I will say, jump into them. Sometimes you got to jump on them, jump up to get down. All right, Falcon Lord. I'm not going to lie, Falcon, most of these teams probably are jumping each other, though. In and out of game. I'm terrified for Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, Purdue Austin Poe, I didn't get to really say this. What's up, Phantom? They are one of the few open teams left. We got 3 tiers of Collegiate. Open's the lowest, and Purdue Austin Poe, they've got to showcase why they are better than what befalls them. A knock of 4E, and it is going to be too late to get the heal off. It is up to Dreamer, Japanese legend, and biggest heart in all of Collegiate Apex. TMU Bold has held this one out for so long here, but the minute they get to that choke, you've got Western Outlaws, you got West Virginia Wesleyan, you got Fisher Esports waiting here. For Purdue, that will be all said and done. Good morning, Bulldogs. Now, Iowa State Farmers, they're going to wrap behind what I can only assume was the Fisher and West Virginia fight here. There's a knock on the other end, a full beam to send for Group T. You got to question, where's the rest of ISU? And it's Kamal from the window. Kamal Yavuz, a man who has built himself back up and finds wipes against Fullerton. Western will wipe out West Virginia Wesleyan. Fisher Esports, they turn their attention to the edge of Hammond, where they know this late rotate from TMU Bold is still fighting its way in. That's going to allow ISU to get their reset and maybe third party this fight. But for now, the Kingfishers will take flight to get these knocks here. Fisher Esports, you got Western Outlaws, TMU, and yes, ISU in the picture. Either way, the zone will provide a burn against TMU Bold, and Fisher turn their attention to Western Outlaws. It has ever been nothing but Fisher, but Slothulus is still up on high. He has to gatekeep the other side of zone because ISU Farmers, like I said, Iowa State at any given moment could come in and capitalize. Still, a full thirst against Golden, and Western Outlaws have done a great job to at least find one. There's the revive inside the Lifeline ultimate, and big problems ahead. You've got nades for the Renox. Sadly, no damage finds Purchase, and it's up to Fisher to 2v3 this one out. But dump shot in the back. It's Iowa State. Iowa State have arrived. One remaining member, and it's the third party from Iowa State. They're going to send this one forward. A full wipe ahead against Western Outlaws. 1:20, and they've already got the numbers advantage. Couple extra nades, a heal on the Group T, right around the boxes. That'll be for not Koryu. A knock on to Lock Sanity, and as Western have done a great job surviving Fisher, there's no way to survive Iowa State. That is an Iowa State masterclass of decision making, and now they have the Western high ground, the God spot for the end zone. Group T, please do not message in chat. I know the game is over for you, but I need to see. Hold on. I know the game's over, but we're on delay. St. Clair Saints, they find themselves up against winners of Game 1, RIT, and holy shit. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Rusty G is a different breed. That was insane. Literally never, just gone, obliterated. Iowa State, they'll turn their attention to their new tenants. Bass, the first to fall here for the Sac State roster. The remnants of this crew likely to fall just as quickly. Bofer is on that other side, and you're dealing with a Pro League legend here. A peek through the doorway. It's up to not Corey to put in some damage where it counts. Ticking exchanges. Kamal will find the shield swap. Bofer peeks on through. A knock on to not Corey. It's ISU versus Sac State. Kamal Yavuz, the Turkish legend, has to win the 1v1. Quick heal of the med kit, and you can't take too long. You don't want Sac State to get these revives. USM, they just finished SCC on the interior of building here. A nice revive on to Group T. That's going to be a 2v1 advantage, but the peak play is already out here. Group T is still alive, and he will get the moment to survive. Not Koryu as a fail mix of defense. I don't think this is all said and done for Bofer. Full resets are through, and Group T's more than happy to peak play you. Still, high ground controlled for Iowa State. We won't know where Bofer calls himself home here outside of these rocks, but Cumberland University, they're going to take themselves into zone and play for the trade. Future Streams dropped low. Slasher and Syken, no better for worse. A Rolling Thunder dropped down by not Koryu, and that will slow the Cumberland assault. USM, they're finding knocks of their own as they will send NCAT, another open team, out to the pasture. Cumberland, Charlotte Niners, Southern Mississippi, and Sac State. Those are your other 4 teams. Gordo, thank you for the follow, Gordo. I think that is a Sac State. Bofer caught out there by Future Streams. Again, it's going to take some serious Iowa passion, some love for the farmers to survive against Cumberland here. Let's go, USM. Hey, USM, they're also great. If you guys love USM, make sure to support them. They've got their final PSQ tonight. And by the way, they've got a 66+% chance of making Pro League. And they will officially become the very first collegiate team in Pro League. Can you believe that? Our very first college team in Pro League is going to be decided potentially this weekend. All they've got to do, genuinely, is like at least make it to decent semi-styles. Let's go, Sac State. Falcon. There's a simple solution. He can't hear me, but there's a simple solution to that. Well, Cumberland has taken that high ground, but it is not the building of play of choice. Charlotte Niners, they're as far as can be from zone, and they've got to try to fight their way in. They're going to land, though, right into USM, and you've just basically delivered open pairings. I'm going to answer that question in a second, but for Southern Mississippi, they need to answer a response to Thalos getting knocked here. Full burn around the back and up on high. Bofer with the Kraber's knock. USM may not survive, not to their choice, not to their liking, but because of a Kraber on the hillside here. A final shot from Bofer. Bofer single-handedly wiped out all of USM there. And a final Kraber. Bofer takes himself into the top 2. Bofer stands alone. 4 KP for Bofer. It's a 1v3 situation. Cumberland has the height here. There's no chance in the world Bofer will beat the accolades of Cumberland. But Sac State have at least gotten themselves to second overall this game. There's the gas trap, the nade to go with it, and with one final bomb, Cumberland University will take number 2. I meant to say the dub. Guys, what a Bofer masterclass there. Congratulations to Future Stream, Slasher, and Syken. They played a very, very well thought out game. But Bofer just single-handedly wiped the entirety of University of Southern Mississippi, which, by the way, is a team that will very likely be in Pro League. Your mic was peaking? No shit, it was peaking. It's the hypest shit on earth. Let's take a look at the scoreboard while we wait, because we've got game 2. Wow. It is a tight race here. Cumberland only walks away with 7 KP in their win. That's 19 points. 9 KP for Southern Mississippi with their 4th place finish. That's 14, tied with the Iowa State Farmers. 14 points for them there. One of the best Iowa performances I think I've ever seen. Sac State, they got 13. And yes, Fisher somehow managed to put up an 11-point start. Our overall standings, 39 points for Cumberland, 30 points for Sac State. RIT, they've taken a dive here. Only 2 points that last game, and now they're at 23. We got double digits all the way down to 9. Iowa State Farmers, Southern Mississippi, Western Outlaws, Fisher Esports, SCC, and yes, TMU Bold. Caustic's going to be banned in this game. Let's take a look at the prediction. Light Dell, thank you for the follow. I asked you guys with RIT over under 4.5. It was the under. Sadly, it was the under. We're letting RIT get third? No, RIT has been earning it. All right, they got that dub. They got that dub, Miss Blaze. Which collegiate team did you say could make Pro League? USM. USM currently has the 2nd most points, and PSQ, right? So Viz, Thalys, and Zach W. Keys currently have the 2nd most points in all of PSQs right now. No, that's ALGS Smuggled. We got to get into game very shortly, but I just want to show it. What's going on? There you go. What's good? Hey, Fisher's keeping up today, Golden. Here you guys go. So right now, 5-star has already qualified, so they don't count. Revival has not. And there they are, USM, 3,630 points in the open right now. And they would be representing Collegiate. I've already asked them. They're exceptional. Did Sac State qualify? Okay, so if you're talking about the PSQs, Sac State does not play together for the PSQs. Bofer, Raquaz, and Bass are not on the same roster. But at least right now, for today, this is semifinals. In Collegiate Apex, you need to reach the top 10. With a 30-point start for Sac State, they're close. They need to get a bit higher to roughly about that kind of 48 window, and then I would say they're very, very good. Bass and Raquaz don't play ALGS. There you go. But hey, Sac State, an excellent start there. I mean, honestly, these guys are looking phenomenal. All right, one last prediction before we get into game. Let's look at our player standings. Let's try to do a who performs the best. It's my favorite. Who does the best? We got Bofer. We got Slasher. And let's do Dom to Cracked. Your top 3 on the kills. Here you guys go. You guys got 2 minutes on the board. Get your predictions in. Dayberry, thank you for the like. What do you think the point cutoff will be, Zeph? 39-42, right? 48. 48. I think the cutoff will be a bit higher. All right, all that being said, we're moving on. I didn't think Sac State was playing today. Well, okay, so to highlight where we're at in the overall competition, This is semifinals for stage 2. There are 40 teams left out of 120. 80 teams have already been eliminated. So, today was the only day for Sac State to play because after today, we are going to cut it down to 20 remaining teams for the Stage 2 finals tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. You got 8 games to qualify right now, all right? And if you survive into the top 10 after these 8 games in Lobby A and Lobby B, you're moving on to the Stage 2 finals, which, by the way, not only do you find your own prizes there, it's more importantly the qualification to get into Ohio. Wheezy, thank you so much for the bits. We start our World's Edge, our wedge gameplay, with a gilded start. Thank you for what you do. Hey, thank you for watching. Genuinely, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today and enjoying competitive collegiate Apex. I'm a guy who loves college football and any collegiate sport he can get his hands onto, and Apex Legends, well, as a professional Apex caster, it's no small jump there. So, I mean, I've loved college Apex since I started coaching it back in 2023 when I was an Aggie. What are Sac's LAN hopes looking like? I know there's a chance we win of all of Stage 2 and still don't qual. That's a good question. The man to ask for that one is going to be OI. Oicicle has a chart that calculates a little bit of that. I will say no one has done the official math. I could have done the official math, but it gets a little bit shaky. We can see that after today's games. There you go. Yeah, it's much easier to calculate it after today. You need to make sure they just at least get to finals. Coach Squad, I think we have to make 23rd to make it to LAN. Well, here, I'm praying for West Virginia. For TMU Bold, I'm praying for success in their own right. There's going to be the Niners caught out. Golthy already dropped down. And for a team that showed up late and was hitting the snooze button, they're looking a little sleepy. Southern Mississippi, we saw what could have been their at least fight in this endgame, wiped out by Beaufort. They've got their start here against SJSU, San Jose State. I'm sorry to say it, you are simply outclassed. This is a reason. There's a reason this is a team that is pro league caliber. Ton of Claymaster stuck on the interior of the mod ship. And honestly, one quick slide, and San Jose State will be the very first team eliminated here in mod. Guys, I just want to talk about this for a second. I know we've got the games, but could you imagine if every college team played with their college players going into things like PSQ? USM are arguably a top 6 team, in all of collegiate. No question, right? But could you imagine if Bellevue, if Fisher, if these rosters played with their actual official teammates? If USM have proven they can do it, it absolutely 100% with full certainty, these other college rosters could potentially do it as well. Now, William and Mary, they may not represent that ideal. They've already gotten a knock against them and out towards Geyser. They're going to have to play for some kind of life there. NCAT, we tune in with them. Our few and remaining open rosters alive. Oh, here we go. TMU Bold still chasing this one down. William and Mary, another knock on a Magic Trickster. They'll dive past the nades. Mosef Mozambiques and Mary will be Dairy. Wiped out here, slurped up by the TMU Bold roster. Not much to say there, folks. It was a quick and easy rip and tear. Zephyr's going to take a drink of his bang. All right. By the way, Relaxin' Dog, thank you for the follow. College Apex League Jay. Yes, sir. Welcome to College Apex. You're joining us at the Stage 2 semifinals right now. The top 40 teams. Woo! Truthfully, caught out. That man got ripped from the zip line, and there's nothing you can do, bud. Triple take shots, though, from Arcosti. Maybe not as surefire here for the NCAT roster, but Crimson Monk still going to get shot out there from West Virginia Wesleyan. Friend of the family here on stream, but more importantly, friend to Bullets finding their placement. CSUF Fullerton, you could see them top of your screen there. They're going to have to rat this one out towards the north. Oh, jeez. Guys, we have got a skyhook finish. We've got a skyhook finish. Any Maryland, Pennsylvania, or California teams? Yeah. Pennsylvania. Yes. I forget what cities are in Pennsylvania. The answer is probably yes. California, 100%. SJSU. You've got CSUF Fullerton. You've got UCSC. You've got New Hampshire. Probably not, Blackout King. All right. Remember, guys, Skyhook. You, if you're fans of Comp Apex, already know how this should end. Bucks, thank you for the follow. 273. There's a lot for me to keep track of. Skyhook. Because of the buildings that present themselves, these teams should be able to get directly in zone and set themselves up. New Hampshire missed by 1 spot last qualifier. SNHU. Louisiana be big sleeping on Apex competition. Give it time. Give it time. Sunphobia, I don't know if I love Skyhook zones, because personally for me, it's a whole lot of building, playing, and a whole lot of waiting. Wowie, thank you for the follow. It's tough. Now, most teams will be in Cumberland, Iowa State, Toronto, Southern Mississippi, Purdue, and Minnesota State are not in zone. Surprisingly, that is a lot. But remember, because this is Skyhook, these teams feel they have the ability to come in super late. There's so many buildings available in Skyhook that you can take your time on Zone 1, on Zone 2, and waste your time in a lot of ways to get yourself in zone. Dallas was DC. By the way, combined chat's a GOAT edition. Thank you so much, OI. I was hoping Iowa State Farmers is going to look more like a combined roster here, but they are split. TMU bold with a knock of 1 against Not Koryu, and ISU, I will say, with the Zone 2 closed, they have the time to put the state back together. But the Farmers, they got to plant those seeds soon here, or else harvest, it won't come through. Toy Story sucks. Massive name, very controversial. Toy Story sucks. Thank you for the follow. Is Sac State still alive? Sac State is still alive. Remember, because this is Skyhook, visibility of the teams in zone is going to get really hard. TMU bold. They got that follow through on Group T, and I would have liked to see ISU keep rotating. Can't believe you'd say that on stream. Whoa! Whoa! I honestly haven't watched many Disney movies, so you know what? I can't. I've seen all of Toy Story, though, so I mean, I liked it. Whatever. Sac State is very much alive. That's all I'm going to say, folks. This is College Apex. This is just College Apex. All right? So all these teams are full credit hour students playing at their university. Some are in their dorms, some are at home, but it is. Toy Story's Pixar? It's a mix. All right. You guys crack me up. This challenge is impossible. Now, Cumberland University, they are going to be one of those teams to present themselves in the center spire of Skyhook. This is a good place to be because it can offer transition. Some of the other buildings cannot. If you're a Sac State fan, by the way, Bofer from Sac State just got a knock onto Sloshy Medusa. That's the UCF Knights getting tussled with here inside zones. Sac State still in it. What's up, Earth? Welcome back, Earth. Southern Mississippi on the prowl. Somehow I was going to make a joke, has been allowed to live, but either way, still alive here, fighting for the choke. University of Southern Mississippi, fairly close. I wonder how good these players are and what their average rank is. It fairly depends because Collegiate Apex is so big and you have so many teams and you've also got to work with whatever your college has. We have some players that have played in Pro League and we have some players who are gold. That's the variety of College Apex, but hey, in semifinals, we have reached the height. 17 squads still alive here. Southern Mississippi, UCSC Chop, CSUF. These are a few of them that need to get into zone. Looks like Booker with a long-range snipe onto Group T, and ISU falling just as quickly means that it is just not Koryu left alive here for Iowa State Farmers. Edge of zone. I mean, Ottawa Garnet, they've got a nice line beam here on the choke outside of Grandma's. Iowa State, they might get full thirsted by USM. Sac State roster is Pred Masters. Well, there you go. There's your answer. Well, Iowa State is still in it, guys. Iowa State is on that choke line inside the train. They are still alive, albeit maybe not for long. Ottawa Garnet, they're trying to fight their way into zone. Loon does not take the best start there. TMU Bold already with a big burn against them. But the peek from the stairwell of Faustus Festus will be a knock of one. UCSC will be dropped by USM. A full dive to the low ground from TMU Bold evens up the fight against Ottawa Garnet here. A nice dive down below, and it is none other than the Newcastle reset. Loon will be caught out, and that leaves just one remaining member for Ottawa. It is Canada on Canada violence, and Faustus Festus will take to the skies to survives for the whole Canada sphere. That's going to be Ottawa Garnet. They've got a whole chunk of that western side of zone left alive for them. But that is the bigger of the brothers here. Charlotte Niners will be sniped out by future streams. And we got West Virginia Wesleyan attuned back into their building. Woo! Oh! Team PS. Long range with the drops on the wingy. Here we go. Nice EMP against them, but realistically, they already got the knock. Now, they don't really want to extend out of this building because the minute they do, someone could fly in and take it away from them here. So, they're not going to give it up anytime soon. One of those teams that could take it away is Purdue Asimpo, coming through from none other than the University of Purdue here. NCAT Esports is that team. We saw both of these squads laying into one of our open rosters. Now, Southern Mississippi, outside of zone. Which team is number one right now? Oh, those are fighting words, Day-Bay. Some of the best teams in Collegiate. You got a couple that people talk about. USM, Cumberland, Ottawa, Bellevue, KSU Black. I know I'm forgetting one. Fisher. Those 6 teams compete in some form or fashion for the number 1 spot in all of Collegiate. All right? And sometimes it's USM dominating, sometimes it's Fisher. You're seeing a couple of them here today. I will say USM will be a pro league team soon, but well, as we tune in with them, you get to see why. Jack not rowing, and now Parsnips running for the hill. That'll be it for Rochester. New York is slammed here outside of their building. Day-Bay, you might have just become a USM fan, and hopefully you'll support them through pro league if they make it. UCF Knights, Central Florida, down south here. They're going to send themselves with a portal into zone. Western Outlaws, Purdue, NCAT, West Virginia Wesleyan. It's time for the collapse. The full decimation of zone. As Sunphobia is saying, it is time to move your tuchus. Now, granted, I will say, guys, a lot of these teams have done a very good job. And take a look at that western and eastern side of zone. Most are already in. I went to USM for a bit, no idea. Is there a University of Minnesota? There's a University of Minnesota State. Oh, hey, Tochan Totus. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Thank you for the follow. Now, granted, this is as hectic as it is going to get. Sunphobia's right. Iowa State, we find the final rat there. 12 squads remaining. West Virginia Wesleyan's coming on in from the north, and down below the spire is where they will call themselves home. I don't think this is a bad spot, guys. I honestly think you've got a lot of survivability down here, albeit you don't get to make decisions. Teams will drop down on top of you as that zone tightens up. For some of these other players, you got to take a risk. You got to play with the Valkyrie. Everyone's going to try to take pot shots, but it is hard as hitting a needle in a haystack there. Minnesota State Mavericks. There you go. There's a little Minnesota State love, or Minnesota love, if you're a fan of the state. And all 12 teams have at least made it in, except for Ottawa Garnet. Everyone else is here. long range shots, big breaks on the edge of zone, and I already told you guys that that area was available. So I believe that's TMU bold. By the way, if you want to check out that leaderboard, exclamation point leaderboard, exclamation point now, exclamation point score. 12 squads and a zone that will decide. Down towards the south is the Heat in the Middle East. Here it is. The presence of our rosters will have to make a decision, but Southern Mississippi and Purdue Austin-Po are going to be the teams that have the best position in zone. Ed, thank you for the follow. Everyone else has to fight into this one. If you guys have never seen a skyhook finish, there is no survivability. There is no way to make it into this without going out here. This makes me want to become a part-time commentator. Do it. The only thing you got to do is find some Apex Legends and make it happen. Now, Sac State, St. Clair Saints, CSUF, UCF Knights, TMU Bold, Cumberland, Minnesota State, West Virginia Wesleyan, and U Ottawa Garnet are not in zone. Hey, Ed Crow. Straight from the TikTok over to the mainstream. Thank you so much. Why is John Giraku casting Apex? Because I got fired, or I quit my job. I'm repenting for my sins and the wipeouts that I've provided to our country. And what can I say? I love Apex. It's not that different from my first job. Hey, I get it all the time. West Virginia State, Earth, I can't wait to see you there. But, folks, I'm going to lock in because we got zone closing from up above. Minnesota State, they got a beam and a half. Nades from up above will defend those that try to walk in here. The Mavericks, a little bit of damage on a heal as well. West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju, the team that tried to call this home, but instead, it's TMU Bold. Mozambique's double knocks there with a nade to extend. A Seer ultimate drop down for any kind of information to keep West Virginia going. A full peek from KQ up, but from up above, Minnesota State Mavericks, they're going to drop a third party from the Mavericks roster. A beam into the corner, and that's it for TMU Bold. Mavericks with a final melee, and West Virginia will be wiped out to take us to our top 9. Couple of further shots. CSUF, they're finished by Sac State. Mavericks have already lost out on their height, and they've got to be careful. There's the port play from Cumberland University to try to get into the zone. Instead, ports back into it from underneath. They're going to have to laugh with the little cover that they have. St. Clair Saints wiped out by UCF. 7 squads remaining. Minnesota State, they've got just barely anything to work with. Cash, good to see ya. It's going phenomenal. Cumberland, Minnesota up above. Purdue in the middle of zone. SM, USM, UCF Knights. A full stack on the eastern side of zone. UCF Knights, they just got that full burn, and this building can be contested by many. Western Outlaws are also here. Purdue Austin-Po is the team that tries to control the flow. 18 seconds to go. You've got 3 teams stacked up in that major tall building, 2 inside the central spire, and Purdue Austin-Po on the outskirts. Dallas, a havoc beam from afar here. Sykin, the first member of Cumberland knocked, and because they are up above, I highly doubt they are going to be set up for survivability. The revive has come through, and the drop is just as quick. There's no heal. That's going to be the re-knock as well. Sykin back down. Minnesota State now, a 2v3 here on the other side. A big beam onto Slasher there, and that's going to be a trade for trade. A wipeout on Cumberland as they fall into Minnesota's lap. 5 squads remaining. Minnesota now, the sole benefactors up north. Western Outlaws have somehow made it to the boxes, probably a Wraith portal. They've got their own blast against Minnesota State, USM, Purdue Austin-Po, and the wall that might bring them survivability. What is this cut? The cut is bad. It's got nothing to work with here. Minnesota are stuck as a duo. 2 members on the board. I can't imagine they'll survive for long here. Even still, Schmalz, a knock, up above. It's up to Meadsy, a knock again. Lock Sanity will go down, and State is up to Passion in a Dream. But here comes USM. There's the drill, a burn around the back. The flesh is ripping and tearing. Western Outlaws, Minnesota State, UCF Knights down to 1. It's Purdue versus USM. 3v3, a final full push there. A thirst on to UCF Knights, and the only team that is fully healthy is none other than USM. It's gonna be the Southern Mississippi dub. Congratulations to USM, a team that seems to be gilded with glory on their way to Pro League here in just a few days. They finally pick up their first win of the day. Congratulations to Zach W. Keys, Phallus, and Viz. Guppy, Finesse the Thrones. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. Welcome to Collegiate Apex Legends. If you're enjoying it, shoot a follow, throw some support, and thank you again. Sunphobia, a heart to you too. Appreciate that, brother. All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard here because we've still got 5 games to go. Remember, semifinals is 8 games. We're going to be going back to World's Edge in just a second. Cumberland University, they've taken the throne, but it is Southern Mississippi catching up now. Second place overall, 42 points to their own name. Sac State begins to fall. 35 points for Sac State there. 25 for RIT as they have quite a blemish as well. Western Outlaws, Iowa State Farmers, Toronto Metropolitan, Minnesota State, UCF Knights, and Purdue Austin Poe. They make your top 10. Purdue, as an open level team. Open, by the way, the lowest league of Collegiate. That's like D3 Collegiate, is currently in qualification standing to make it to finals. That would be like your little league team making it to the NFL. That was a terrible way to describe that. I meant to say MLB. Anyways. Crypto is surprisingly the band going into this next game. I asked you guys, though, coming out of that last game, who would have the best performance between Bofer, Slasher, and Dom 2 Cracked here. Now, right off the bat, Slasher's got 1. Bofer's got 0. Dom's got 0. It is guaranteed to be a Slasher dub. Congratulations to those of you who bet on the Slasher himself. Fullerton in these today? Yes, Fullerton is currently in this lobby. CSUF Fullerton are struggling, though, cash out. They are currently 14th place overall with 9 points. That being said, to get into the top 10, they only need 7 to overtake Purdue Austin Poe. And remember, there is still 5 games left to go, 1 more on World's Edge, and then we've got to still settle out Storm Point and E District. Where's the other chat? Is it on a different platform? Yeah, you can see what it's on. I've got every single platform hooked up. So not just TikTok, also YouTube, etc. All right. Another bet here before we get into game. I know you guys like this one. How about we do a Time Alive? You guys like Time Alive, right? So right now, who survives the longest? Yeah, let's do Slasher. Let's do Bofer. Actually, let's switch it up. Let's do future streams. Future streams. No, you know what? Syken. There we go. We got Slasher, or we got Syken, Bofer from Sac State, and let's do Payne from Western Outlaws. All right, 2 minutes on the board. Who survives the longest? Lock it in. Real quick before we get into the other game, yes, there is a second lobby. Josh, thank you for the follow. In the other lobby, UCSD, they currently represent with a first dub found in Game 2 and currently 43 points. Kennesaw State Black, a first, second place, and 10th for 41. The University of Utah, none other than Mez, Mobius, and Narwhal Boy, the winners of the Rocky Mountain Invitational LAN in Colorado, currently in 3rd. Bellevue tied alongside them. There's University of Calgary, Tennessee Tech, Gibby Hands, Ferris State Crimson, Temple Cherry, Giga Maggies, Texas A&M in 9th, and Ottawa Pioneers. Ooh, Ottawa is in a tough spot. Who else is struggling? Purdue Black, not looking good either. UT's kind of on the cusp. Kennesaw State Gold. Where's Travis? Travis is Caribbean. Kennesaw State Gold is currently 6 points. That is tough. All right, well, we'll check in with them after these next couple of games. Let's jump back on over to World's Edge. Ottawa getting fried for how good they should be. For those who don't know, Ottawa was the winner of Stage 1. There's Stage 1, Stage 2, LCQs, our last chance qualifiers, and the Grand Finals. In Stage 1, Ottawa was declared the winner. Now, granted, there's a couple opinions about that people have. We're not going to discuss that too deeply. But right now, Ottawa is struggling. You know what's crazy? Do you guys know they did just a huge wave of bans in Apex just the other day? Huge, like, they completely just new detection software, etc. Man, that's crazy. I'm messing with y'all. I like to spread misinformation. It's like my favorite thing to do. Day Bay, thank you for the follow. Guys, I gotta tell you, I am sweating up a hog here. You could put me on the grill and watch it sizzle. Ottawa, my neighbors. Ottawa, Kansas, or Ottawa, Canada? I've always heard about Fisher, but I haven't heard a lot about them today. It seems like a real quiet start. I will say, PD first, as we get going here, Fisher probably is going to benefit from teams trying, because remember, as we go into these later kind of lobbies, more teams need to keep up, right, getting KP. And so to do that, they're going to get more aggressive. And Fisher capitalizes on aggressive, high-paced edge play lobbies. All right? So we'll see how it goes. The high today is supposed to be 87 degrees. Yeah, I mean, oof. Woo, there's a reason Zeph's wearing a button down. He might head over to the pool. Taking a look at that zone. We are going to be taking our trip, though, to Monument. Thankfully, there's a little bit of snow there, but I don't think there's a damn pool in sight. San Jose State sitting on triple napkins, and I'll tell you what, they're going to have to get cleaning or they'll get cleaned up. Take the shirt off. Let's see the pool bod right now. You don't want to see these flabbies. University of Ottawa Garnet. There you go. Ash, here they are. Straight out of Canada and into the fryer. Let's see how this one goes. Nice big beam from Booker to start. Ton of Clay Master thirsted to San Jose State. They don't even get the chance to slide down the stairwell. Booker's going to miss the 45, but Loon is just as quickly there on the side. Another drop of one, and with one remaining member here to try and live, a zip line will be punished, and San Jose State goes out in 20th, and yes, William and Mary will be wiped out by Cumberland on the other side of the map at the same time. Show us feet. You're going to ask UCSC Chop for that one. All right. 18 squads remaining. TMU Bold, Charlotte Niners, and the ISU Farmers playing inside Climatizer. CSUF, UCF, they've got their own fight over towards Mirage Etoile. There's a couple of teams that have set themselves up in our final zone. St. Clair Saints are going to be one of them, representing none other than Canada here. Sac State Esports, at some point, looks like they lost Bass, Lilith, Beaufort, Raquaz. They're going to try to get themselves put back together here. Thankfully, it is early. Meanwhile, here you go, PD first. Fisher Esports. We've asked, where is their performance? Where is their aggression? Where is the team that has dominated all split long? Well, for now, Dom 2 cracked, Slothios and Golden. That lifeline ultimate will tick. And West Virginia Wesleyan, who was once by that choke, are very quickly, running for the hills here. Still, could see the follow through. TMU Bold, they got that wrap against them by Iowa State. Now, not Koryu was traded just as quickly from KQL, but the Prowler for Kamalia Buzz makes me think this is a dang this is a return for the man. This is a Turkish legend. After this game, can you check the leaderboard for Lobby 2? Florida Gators are currently at the bottom of Lobby 2. There you go. There's your quick update. All right, Group T, another legend. Some, by the way, call him the Collegiate Thanos. Sunphobia, it is both USA and Canada. Not just, etc. I mean, it's a good try from TMU Bold, but when you're in a 2v1 situation there and you thrust it like that, what can you do? What can you do? Fisher Esports into Grandma's house. West Virginia Wesleyan, a nade against them, and they've got to start making moves here because you will get Fisher against you if you are not careful. There's the scan, and they've got all information to boot. All three members, nowhere to go. A Mad Maggie drill here, and that is the punishment for West Virginia's transgressions. Another scan coming through, and they've got at least the time to heal this one out. A Catalyst wall to split Dom off. What a play! Kai and Drake splits the fight, and now West Virginia Wesleyan are in a 3v2. The problem is the shots have made themselves loud and apparent here. And West Virginia, they've got to deal with a third party, Atherius with a knock, Golfy as well. And the Charlotte Niners, all they need is one remaining member of the West Virginia Wesleyan puzzle. Now, Dom to crack. It's a shame Dom goes out here because as a lifeline, you had a chance to pull your team back together. But instead, I don't even think they're running. Fisher Esports could very easily re-enter to this fight here. A beautiful triple hit on the wingy for Golden. And Fisher Esports, they're going to be able to get this revive out right on the north side of zone. A nice drill from Slothulus, and he controls the ability of the Charlotte Niners to get this rotate off. Fisher's back in it, and West Virginia will be wiped out by a snipe from McQuaz. Charlotte Niners, they make a good decision here. They don't know this is Fisher Esports, but a team knows when they're getting outclassed. If I got hit by 3 wingman shots in a row like that, I would say it's time to Valkyrie ult 2. Iowa State Farmers, their success early here against TMU Bold has still presented them inside zone. Couple long-range wingies from Not Koryu's, not looking as good. Nazetia, welcome back, my supple prince. Beaufort's gonna get that free snipe onto Sloshy Medusa and Sac State. Southern Mississippi as well. My gosh, if you're Iowa or UCF, you have chosen the most terrible choke to play into ever. You got the entirety of USM. You got all of Sac State watching over you. It's a problem. Now, Viz, there's the quick scan, and he's going to find the roaches that scurry here out in zone or over towards the side. University of Central Florida have managed to thrive outside of the bridge for now. Can't imagine they'll last for long. Mind you, Southern Mississippi, all they got to do is start looking. Who's top 3 in this lobby? Right now, the current top 3 is Cumberland University, Southern Mississippi, and Sac State. The leaderboard, there you go. Kayak just threw it up there for you. Remember, exclamation point now, exclamation point leaderboard, exclamation point score, or anything else you can come up with currently provided. And if you want to join my Discord for community events or some other stuff as we get through the summertime here, exclamation point Discord. And if you want to learn a little bit more about me and my history as a professional caster, exclamation point Liquipedia. How many games? Nazetia, they are going to try to blip through this one as quick as possible. It is an 8 game today. We're going to pop back on over to Fisher because that's going to be one of the few teams to hopefully speed up the progress of this lobby. Callum spotted out here for the UCSC chopped roster. And Fisher Esports, all they need to do is finish off the pieces that be. From up on high, woo, the Zippy can't get the Rippy. Michael YP caught out here. And for Fisher Esports, Dom with that lifeline makes this champion look like a full force. I mean, into the truck, out around the side. Dom is quick with it. I don't think I've ever seen a single person escape Dom on the lifeline. And there it is. We missed out on the shots, but all you need to know is the finish came through. We'll pop back on over to Sac State, and at some point here, Southern Mississippi dropped from their epicenter height, and now they're going to be looking for a full finish against them. Sac State, one remaining member. It is none other than Beaufort left to stand, single and alone, a knight on his mission. Southern Mississippi have somehow lost Beaufort in the sauce. And that's going to be a wish they should have finished. Iowa State Farmers, Purdue, Austin Poe, right there against Southern Mississippi, Western Iowa, Charlotte Niners, RIT, St. Clair Saints, Minnesota State, and Cumberland inside the monument for now. Everyone else that I did not name is playing that south or western side of zone, which is currently Sac State, who are playing for maybe a recovery there, Fisher Esports, and a couple other. When does TSM play? About 30 minutes from now, TSM will be taking the field. None other than Imperial Hal, Reps, and Verholst. Recovery. They are back together. When does Falcons play? Oh, of course. None other than the Falcons. Imperial Hal. No alliance? Crazy, I know. Sadly, Yuki and Hawkins and who is? I'm trying to remember the original rosters. I'm really struggling with the original rosters. Whatever. Aku and Hawkins and Unlucky. Tyler FPS? Vapes, there we go. Vapes was the original roster member. I'm talking old, guys. I'm going back to 2021. Yes. Unlucky, Aku, and Hawkins is that current one. Bring back SDSU. Bring back NRG. Bring back my boy Sweet, okay? I want that gambler on the field. I want him back. Sac State Esports, sadly, caught out here by Fisher, and they were never able to quite recover from their USM downfall. Sykin, or Purdue. Oh my gosh, Purdue Osenpo. All right. Quick finish here around the end. Where's Sentinels? They're right here. You got the OG Sentinels, man. You got Lou and the boys back at it. Man, oh, you guys are going to make me... The nostalgia's hitting right now. Oh, here it is. Nice Sparrow's ultimate doesn't find quite where it needs to land as Iowa State. We'll say goodbye to them in the feed. You Ottawa Garnet. Gentlemen, you got to get out of here wherever you see fit. Booker, Loon, if you stand up on top, you're just asking for no life there. Purdue Osenpo, a quick peek up to the second floor. Loon is going to get the knock for a 2v2, but one quick peek up above will find a drop in return. It's a 1v1 exchange. Booker with a burn, but Purdue Osenpo will find success. That was far too close for comfort. Where's Dark Zero? Dark Zero? No. Exec Koifel? Bring me back to when Koifel was a unknown talent, all right? A young gun, an unproven land winner, okay? Sweet runs the gambling circuit behind Collegiate Apex. Didn't you know? Every single college poker night, Sweet shows up. He registers for one class at a university, and he wipes the floor with the rest of the competition. Because as you know, poker is a much more valuable resource for earning money. All right, Fisher Esports, a fight that may decide this game. 9 squads remaining, and they've got a burn from afar. Dom 2 cracked. I mean, already finding huge entry frag damage, but truthfully, with the longbow and Southern miss from behind, Fisher are not a team that likes to be pinched, and instead, they're going to have to full commit for CSUF on the other end. They've already got a double knock on of 2, and with 1 remaining member there, CSUF Fullerton, they might get wiped out, but it might be the last fight that Fisher take. A full thirst on to Dom 2 crack, and there's the full send on the other side from Viz. Golden and Slothulas, they need to try and survive, but with RIT Orange here as well, I don't think a single team is going to be walking out of this one nicely. Now, RIT, they got Parsnips Portal. They're not really a full commit. They're able to jump on back here just as quickly as they enter. Graber in the hands of Rusty G. A bullet that will shred, tear, and blow a hole through any waiting team. There's the Sears ultimate, and if this is RIT with the portal, you might have to take it. A catalyst wall down as Fisher's got trades of their own. Southern Mississippi will be wiped out by Fisher as a duo, and RIT Orange, they find their own knocks against the St. Clair roster. A burn onto a Bezzy. Parsnips will be sniped out, double members down, and it is up to none other than Rusty G to 2v1 this one. This was the moment, and he will find it. Rusty G with the car, not Rowan now in the 1v1. Rusty's got the full thirst. Here it is. Snipes all the way out of Monument. Whether you're St. Clair or RIT, I don't think either of these teams are going to be lasting for long. For Cumberland University, they just lost Sykin in his entirety. It's none other than Purdue Osenpo. Forey will get full thirsted here in the meanwhile, and against Cumberland, you need these snipes to land from Ballin' Cat. This guy's a great caster. To Strokes, I appreciate that. Tell that to EA. Well, 6 shots around the back, and Purdue Osenpo, they get wrapped by Minnesota State. A quick turnaround for Minnesota. Get him to EWC ALGS. That's so funny. Well, Cumberland, full thirst there, and 4 squads remaining. We've got Minnesota State, Western Outlaws, Rochester, and Fisher Esports. Now, Fisher, they got their first pickings of this zone alongside Minnesota State, Western Outlaws, and RIT. They're in a tough spot to try to walk in here. Put in a good word. Thank you, guys. It is what it is. Do you know, in all my years of casting ALGS, I never got to cast at LAN. Never one time. Never a single time. And I was about to say, I'm known for my casting, I'm known for casting everywhere else, though. I find that just very interesting. It's all good. Desk host, right? Oh, Minnesota State. Hold on, let's finish this first. Couple of long-range knocks, but Slothios will find their own response here. Big return as Fisher Esports need a 2v1. And remember, there's a lifeline on the other side. But the problem is, you've got Mavericks for the full wipes. Dom, Slothula is eliminated. And I cannot believe I'm saying this. It could be a Maverick stub. But realistically, the fullest health team is Western Outlaws. Golden is a wrench in their plan. Fisher will go down, but they lost out on Speed Demon. Does Minnesota have the time to revive? A pylon is down for Western. And why are Western not sending this? All Western had to do was send it. Western with a critical mistake here. They are letting Minnesota completely reset inside of zone. They did not punish the knocks. If Western lose it, this is the moment that ended it all. Lock Sanity, the rest of Western stepping up here. I believe that's RIT on the low ground. Parstips will be sniped out as Lock Sanity. It's H for P versus H for P fights here. Minnesota have a little height to work with, but it's the Burt nade from Western to seal the deal. Speed Demon will go down. Pain is traded. A 2v2 here between the rosters. A knockdown shield will give them a bit of clarity, but the burns are just as bad. A couple of 30-30 shots as Goblin has to take it away. Lock Sanity with a new castle reset as Pain will be brought back in, but Minnesota are committing a full burn and Western turn it around. Western Outlaws, a critical mistake, a first knock, but still a revive. A revive, as Pacifico said, a vert nade that changes the pace and flow. Winning against Minnesota, I'm going to be honest with you, that is a tough fight to win, and they managed to find it even with all of their mistakes combined. Astro, thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. Honestly, I appreciate all of you guys who are so supportive when it comes to the commentary. I'm not going to lie, I might have to bring back this one. There you go. I haven't used that hashtag in a very, very long time, but I might have to bring back that one. All right. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys. We have a problem. It looks like we got a kick from Lobby 5. I already know it because I could see it on my second monitor. So, for Game 5, it looks like we will not have a direct feed. Instead, we might have to watch through Twitch. We'll just have to watch through Twitch. Who got kicked? My observer. So no, sadly, I might have to watch through the Twitch streams here for this next game. They're restarting Game 5? There you go. All right, they're restarting Game 5. You should be able to get back in. Praise be. Hopefully that works. All right. So, PD first. We'll talk about your lobby here in a second. But for right now, Cumberland University are still on top. Southern Mississippi with 49. 41 points for Sac State. Western Outlaws, their dub. I cannot believe this. Their dub only puts them 4th overall. They only move up 1 spot. They switch with RIT, which, by the way, RIT, they finished 3rd that game, so there's a reason they stay fairly competitive. The biggest returns on that last match are Minnesota State Mavericks jumping up 2 here for 33, and 4 for Fisher Esports. Fisher Esports finally look like the roster we know. 15 points. Over half of their points accumulated in this last game. Fisher Esports are starting to activate now. Iowa State Farmers, they take a little bit of a dive there, and Purdue Osimpo actually does make a little bit of a trade. Another 8-point game, and we might be seeing one of the very first open teams ever make finals here. I don't want to jinx it, but with 4 games to go, Osimpo is playing such a consistent delivery. Now, Valkyrie is going to be that ban going into this next game here, as we are going to be moving maps. We got a little bit of time because we did take a second to get a reset. So we are moving towards E District. Here you guys go. We made finals from Open last year. Last year. Oh, wow. I didn't even know Open existed last year. Do you mean fall? Wait, semis and is 8 games? It is! ILST. ILST did not make finals, sadly. Damn, who won the Gamba? Well, Adhesive. Here you go. Thank you for reminding me. I asked you guys, who survives the longest between Sykin, Bofer, and Payne? Taking a look at our player standings here. Payne manages to survive 17 minutes and 49 seconds, tied for first place. Where is it? Bofer is all the way down here at 10 minutes, 46 seconds. And Sykin survives to 14 minutes. So congratulations. It was the Payne survivability that gets you that dub there. Congratulations, by the way. That was one person betting on Payne. Bucks273, congratulations. You just won yourself 4,388 points. You know, sometimes you win them, sometimes you lose them. Adhesive. Maybe you should have let me forget about it. Maybe you should have let me forget about it. All right. Ooh, who should we do next? Let's do, highest damage. I like this one. So the way this one's going to work, guys, we've got an individual damage score. The highest was 2007 in game 1. 1641 in game 2, 2,588 in game 3, and 2,758. I'm going to put the line at 2,450. Highest damage player, over under 2,450 damage. Over, under. You guys got to predict if the number 1 player going into this lobby is able to put up that number. Game 1. Wasn't able to. Game 2, wasn't able to. Game 3 and 4 here on World's Edge, they found it. Now, going into this next game, we are moving on over to E District. Teams like Cumberland have got E-Bank. Let's look for Sac State here in Blossom. They are a dangerous team against squads like U Ottawa Garnet, the Charlotte Niners, and SJSU, who have had rough starts. Fisher Esports, they are going to send Old Town. There is never not a time that Fisher Esports started Humbert and don't send Old Town. So NCAT, who came from Open, I hope you've been VOD reviewing. I hope you have learned Fisher's strategies, because I have never not seen this rotate. NCAT is getting obliterated. NCAT is getting smeared, all right? I love them. Their climb out of Open has been incredible to watch. But you drafted E District next to Fisher. You might as well be drafting a 0.2 games here. If NCAT don't make it, granted they haven't had a good day today, these are the 2 games that'll do them in. By the way, our other lobby, also at our halfway point, Bellevue University currently in the lead by 1 point. VOD, Muffins, Jukesy, they've got themselves to the top without a dub. They have yet to win a game for Bellevue here. UCSD, 49 points just behind them. There's KSU Black at 45, 41 to round out the University of Calgary Exodus. Your top 10 as it follows: University of Utah, Ottawa Pioneers, Texas A&M, Tennessee Tech, Ferris State Crimson, and the Illinois State Redbirds. There they are in 10th overall. Currently, Temple Cherry, Purdue Black, University of Texas, UT Tyler, University of Hawaii, CU Boulder, Kennesaw Gold, Augusta, Florida, Illini Orange, which, by the way, is a solo today. They are not currently in that top 10. For those who need the refresher, top 10 moves on to finals tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. All right? Parksa, not anymore. Parksa, You've got 4 games to turn Illini around. You need to get to about 40 points in 4 games. Personally, I think you're capable, but it is sincerely going to take not anymore. I'm not playing anymore. Parks an interview.
Hello, Zephyr.
Parks,
Yep. How are we doing today?
how's it feel to give up?
To give up? Well, you see, Valkyrie is a character
It doesn't
that
matter.
exists in the game.
It doesn't matter.
I swear to you,
How does it feel to give up today?
I will come back when Valkyrie is banned, but I have genuinely gotten landed on 4 times.
You have to try. Parksa, you have to try.
can't.
You have to try.
I will come back. Valkyrie just needs to be banned.
Maybe you need to play Valkyrie.
That's not how that works. I'm getting landed on instantly.
Good luck. All right, let's pop back into game. I don't think Valkyrie is banned in the other lobby OI. So, yeah, he's getting full sent on. Anyways, let's pop back into game 1. We had a little bit of time to spend there because we were taking some time. Hey guys, Fisher has sent Old Town here. Now Dom is going to get traded, but it is a double knock against NCAT already here. A 2v1 situation and a revive being sustained. Arcosity doesn't even take the time to run away, and to the surprise of literally nobody, NCAT gets wiped out by Fisher almost immediately. It's just how it goes. Third got banned. Goddamn. Okay. All right. School and Jack, thank you so much for the follow. Holy. Today is a weekend. That's all I'm going to say. ISU, they've got their own fight here inside of, at least right now, the Galleria is the place they'll call home for this exchange. Problem for Iowa State is they're taking their time. Complete brick and still got banned. Guys, it's never about the skill level, of your cheats. It's how you use them. And most of them suck. All right, 360. I'm not going to read that message. Whoa. Whoa. Iowa State far. There's too many things happening. There's too many things happening. Cheaters are freaking revealing themselves. ISU just got wiped out by William and Mary. There's too much happening. UCF Knights, they've got their own fight here, and it'll be the Charlotte Niners getting absolutely destroyed. Especially with some of these DM wave bans, you got to be careful what you say about that. I don't even know if you're joking or not. UCF Knights getting chased out by you, Ottawa. I got banned too, don't worry. All right. This is funny. 17 squads remaining, and University of Southern Mississippi will pull up on the third party to that William & Mary and Iowa State fight. We saw Iowa State, a team who is usually known for their 3v3 capacity, get dropped out here. Southern Mississippi, I can't imagine them ever losing to William & Mary. It is a difference in caliber. We're talking like crying baby versus nuclear bomb. Still, a crying baby must try in the face of gamma radiation. Southern Mississippi, a Mad Maggie ball and a couple of nades they will bide their time against. Dallas, there's the drill on the other side. A full burn, and Ride Doug Star will be wiped out. The rest of William & Mary, they will try and thrive. Maybe a Wraith Portal. And USM, they're going to get shot back for now, but realistically, if they wanted to continue this assault, they could. Minnesota State Mavericks are also here as well, and for some reason, everybody in the lobby is out east. Except for Fisher Esports. Fisher Esports have magically teleported to the entire western side of the map as a team that starts in Humbert. They have completely moved all the way over here. Golden, fade away with the heady. My man is looking like Steph Curry with the wingman. Drop onto Ur and UCF Knights. They're going to keep getting chased out here by the Kingfishers. I mean, I can't imagine the Fishers will let them slide, but given that only Ur was present, it seems like they left that one to be a sacrifice. Sacrifice? William & Mary fighting out against Minnesota. It looks like USM peel off of that exchange there on the very edge of zone, and it is just one remaining for Minnesota. West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju are going to come in on here as, I'd say, third party, but this fight is just a long, extended one at that. One remaining member in Aspero's ultimate right up against the door, and West Virginia Wesleyan are going to have to slow this for now. Back over towards the burn, and SJSU are also part of the equation here. I believe that was Viking Cap's Sparrow ultimate, so consider that a fourth, consider that a fifth. Like I said, everybody is out east here on E-District trying to get their own piece of the KP. Remember, to catch up into the top 10, you need to fight. Now, granted, it is looking like a Humbert finish, so that does at least explain why we are seeing as many rosters out east here. Purdue Austin Poe, a team that is right now on the cusp of the top 10. They've had a lot of consistency, but they have not had supreme excellence. If they go out early here, this would be a huge blemish on their roster. Toronto Metropin, Toronto Pepentropin, the penitentiary of Toronto, straight from the prison and out on the bus. These boys are playing in semifinals today. They've had, they've gotten good behavior, and they're allowed to play on the PCs in Toronto. I'm kidding. Sunphobia, thank you for the like, man. Why the F is Fisher and Neon Square? Well, Fisher, you know them. They like to chase where they can. Magic Trickster for William & Mary as we tune back into the remnants of this roster. I mean, they're just going to try and survive out there towards the very edge of zone. SJSU, Minnesota, the same to be said. Singular Frog, Fisher feel confident with their current position, and right now they understand that they can just clean up with KP. St. Clair Saints a drop onto Lock Sanity, and our winners of last game, Western, are getting full thirsted by none other than the Griffins here. Their Talons are out on the prowl, and they might have to take swoop to the low ground here. It's crazy. Talons, beaks, wings. Anyways, U Ottawa Garnet, horses versus horses. Kind of, not really. A Griffin is not a horse. Looks like they might go for the full send, but St. Clair Saints are quick for recovery. Might have taken the portal to get out of dodge. CSU Fullerton, they're also extending their own exchange here into Humbert. Now, Fisher, I don't know where Coach Squid is, but sadly, West Virginia Wesleyan, they got wiped out here on the edge of zone. And Purdue Austin Poe, please run. Purdue Austin Poe, please run. Purdue Austin Poe, please run. Oh, never mind. Purdue Austin Poe wiped their ass. Purdue Austin Poe kicked their butt. A 2v2 exchange. Purdue Dreamer to the inside. Burns for the 45. Slothulas is down. Purdue Austin Poe versus Fisher. It is just Golden. Wingman in hand. Open versus the highest in Premier, but that Wingman is a sniper. It's a 1v1 exchange, a drill against Golden, and everything is slipping away from Purdue, one exchange at a time. The Wingman shots, they're not quite landing there, and now Golden, he knows this is a chance to turn it around. Purdue Osimpo, the same to be said. Problem is, that lifeline is going to be a big difference maker on the quick reset onto Slothulas here. Already extending out over towards Ball and Cat. Here's the full send from Golden. Single-handedly, this man could wipe Osimpo. And he needs to put it down where it counts. Couple full burns against Slothulas might be the last thing Purdue can do. Finally, a drop, a wingman, a shot, 45 for 50. Forey will be finished. A couple other exchanges, and just as he peaks, another 50 on the wingman there. Dom's just gotten the revive onto Sloth. And Purdue Osimpo, what was incredible success turns into destitute failure. The only saving grace is that the zone is a criminal to your passions. And Purdue Osimpo, they are going to be allowed to persist. William and Mary, just as they revive outside his stadium, Toronto Metropolitan Bold, they are right there to punish them. Minnesota State Mavericks are just as quickly out on edge. And they might be able to send this one. Instead, TMU Bold, they quickly cut their gap back on over towards that Humbert choke. And Minnesota State Mavericks, they'll miss out on the exchange. Fisher diff right there, turn a 1v2 into a full reset. And well, I will say, Purdue Osimpo still in it, and Fisher is as well. Problem, this is round 3, and the minute either of these two teams get into zone, they're not going to have a lot of resources to survive. Our Sac State fans, they'll find Sac currently looking a little shriveled here. Down on Raquaz. You still got Beaufort and Bass Lyeth here to hold out the fort. Instead, it's you, Ottawa Garnet, spraying and praying into the catalyst wall that will be. There are no diamonds. There is no information. And that should be recovery for Sac State. Bass, Raquaz, and Beaufort back into it for now. RIT, Minnesota. They are the only other two teams right above them. And, another snipe from Ure. This time it's University of Central Florida. They've got long-range snipes there. And this is going to be a very, very hard fight for UCF for Sac State to pull them back in. Oh, here we go. Bass Lilith already dropped again. Faustus Festus, and that's University of Ottawa Gaming Garnet. Finally, the door blasted out here, and there's no time to play for recovery. Beautiful beams around the back. Raquaz will be dropped. It is just Beaufort left standing for Sac State, and I like this from Beaufort. Sometimes you just gotta cut the weight loose. You have to let your teammates die. Beaufort will thrive. Wraith and you, Ottawa Garnet, are here for the third party. Remember, this is the follow-through onto the UCF Knights Western Outlaws exchange. Western, port play available. They might have to drop it oh so quick. Payne's almost wiped out there. Another burn, and they need the portal. They need to survive. Ottawa Garnet, they are completely lost, and they need to find some survivability. Sac State is allowed to crawl into zone. I can't believe that's happening either. Minnesota up north. Fisher Esports back into zone. Remember, Fisher just barely has any health to their name, so they need to get a reset here. Wipe out some of these teams. Take away Meadsy. Take away Minnesota State. Thrust them into the concrete and let it dry. Schmalz here, the last remaining member for the Mavericks, and with RIT and Fisher on either end of the zone, there is little to no hope for the Mavericks. Rochester, they'll take their time to hold out Fisher, but Fisher, they are just bare bones on the edge here. Thankfully, they are in zone. A Sears ultimate down, and that's going to be information for Dom and Golden to step up to the bridge. Mavericks will go out, and it is Beaufort from Sac State who gets the wipe. SJSU wiped out on the other side of zone. CSU of Fullerton picked apart by SCC. It's a Northern finish, and RIT, Cumberland, and TMU Bold are competing for the north side of zone. TMU Bold, they got upstairs neighbors, and the rent is too high. try. Cumberland University, a burn with the drill. Future Streams is a tick. And Jack from RIT, CC finalist and legend in Collegiate will find a knock. But golden from Fisher, he's thirding it. Fisher have shown up and they're right as well. Sykin, a beautiful wall with the catalyst, and this might be the return for Cumberland. All they need to do is revive, and TMU Bold, you know what? Sometimes you don't even knock on their door. You just let them figure out their own problems and get the divorce that will eventually lead to the man coming into your apartment, robbing you, and slaughtering your whole family. You could have had a participant in the action of saving that family, but instead, you sat down below and let them fall apart. St. Clair Saints, they'll survive. I can't even keep a straight face. I can't. Usually I can walk away with those with a straight face. I couldn't do it this time. Incomprehensible comes. Is this an actual story? Don't look into my expunged records. RIT Orange. That'll be Parsnips, currently wiped out. And that's it for Rochester. UCS, honestly, one of the best performances we've ever gotten to see from the Santa Cruz. And that'll be St. Clair and them sharing the same building. Remember, though, this is very likely to be a split finish there. Meanwhile, Fisher Esports, their investment into TMU Bold's territory turns into a stinky exchange, and instead, they're going to have to turn toward U Ottawa. A couple snipes from up above, and Dom's got to be careful on how he extends his health. Peeks through the window, and a wingman shots. That will be another exchange, 50, and it's finally a full send from Slothulas to finish the job onto U Ottawa Garnet. 9 squads remaining, and somehow Beaufort is still in the picture here. Down from below and a portal on the other side with, of course, Fisher peeking it into zone. Beaufort will go, and with St. Clair Saints already extended this far over, I can't imagine Beaufort will survive. Another beam. Beaufort already half health. Slothula's the only saving grace for Sac State there. Fisher actually pressures St. Clair Saints away, and that's going to allow Sac State to keep their dreams going here. Beaufort actually has a position in zone. He's going to have to play it low, slow, and quiet. Now, yes, that's going to be the recover for SEC, but the peak play on the other side. Western Outlaws, they've taken high ground, and they've taken Michael with them. Southern Mississippi is here as well. Everybody wants to play from this height. A Newcastle reset, and it's a re-knock onto Michael. Dallas is getting burned from behind, and it's Santa Cruz on split LOS. Callum and Fishy, literally no health to their name. USM, they need to find purchase where they can, but instead, it's a stick for the revive. A full thirst, and it is up to Fishy, but a bombardment will flush them out. Down from the depths below, and Fisher Esports will take over into the Southern Mississippi fight here. Zach's already been dropped. Dom from up above, and Fisher will take the high ground. St. Clair Saints are still residing down below. The minute they peek out with their port play, they're immediately sniped away. Cumberland tries to step up in the same kind of paint, and they are pressured by Fisher. Western Outlaws, they realize they just need anything they can get, and instead, it's KQL from TMU Bold, finally paying his due. KQL, Xylot, just as a duo, edge of zone. They've barely gotten themselves in. Western Outlaws, a building in their own right. St. Clair Saints and Fisher, the same Humbert zone. One up on top, one down below. UCF Knights and Sac State, they round out your two as a rat here for the finish. Honestly, the biggest thorn in Fisher's side to winning this game is St. Clair Saints. Dang, not even a participant in that fight, and Fisher's going to start it off for them. A drill from afar and a couple of wingman shots. TMU Bold and the rest there might be taking it now. There's the Sparrow's ultimate from afar, and Slothula's, I like the confidence, already extending over as TMU Bold have lost the one. Lock Sanity and a drill around the corner. Hezzy Desi, thank you for the follow. Oh, Beaufort! Beaufort as a rat, a knock onto Slothula's, and Sac State continues to perform. Western Outlaws, all they need to do is invest in the porta potty, and that's it for TMU. They couldn't quite keep up. Beaufort's for the peak play on the other side, and that's going to be no heals. Western Outlaws, they need to try to get themselves recovered, but instead, Fisher Esports, they've been watching this fight all throughout. They get the revive off, and there's the heals that be. A quick exchange, another alternate rips through on the double taps, and from behind the knockdown, my man Slothulas is just going to extend all the damage they need. Golden speaking the other side, there's a pylon down, but a drill and a play will send Western out for another day. UCF, a single rat remaining. St. Clair Saints versus Fisher Esports. And I have no idea if St. Clair has the capacity to beat a team like Fisher. This has been the Fisher Masterclass. From one squad to another, from the outside of zone all the way to the west, from back and a survival against Purdue Austin Poe. There is nobody but Fisher. UCF Knights, a single cherry on top of the Fisher cake. Congratulations to Fisher. That was single-handedly, with no question, not only the highest octane game we've ever seen in a semifinals, but probably our highest scoring points of the day. 10-17 slab. Did you know that's the price of a slab of bricks? Thank you so much for the follow. All right. Let's take a look at the scoreboard after this game and our predictions because, guys, number 5. Oh my God. 27 kills. That might be a semifinals record. 39 points. The next closest, Icarus, UCF Knights, 13 coming out of that game. Fisher have ballooned their performance. I asked you guys over under the highest damage of that game, 2,450. Only 2 players were able to do it, and they were both from Fisher Esports. Slothulas, Dom 2 cracked. It is a guaranteed over. Congratulations to those of you that put your bets in the right area. St. Clair, Western Outlaws, 11 respectively. And in one game, Fisher Esports have gone from nothing to something. 66 points, a single dub on the day, but 47 KP. 27 of that accumulated from this game alone. Cumberland University at 61 points. Southern Mississippi at 55. Western Outlaws here at 50. Sac State at 46. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to do some math. 48 points is the thing I call secure when we talk about the top 10. Western Outlaws, Southern Mississippi, Cumberland, and Fisher, they are guaranteed to be going on their way to finals. Heck, I would say Sac State is also confirmed right now. RIT, Minnesota, UCF, St. Clair Saints, and Toronto Metropolitan. They are currently your top 10. Teams like Purdue Austin Poe and ISU Farmers have just fallen out of the top 10. Wraith is banned into this game. So your safety, your Wraith port plays, your tactical dive into zone, things we saw out of teams like Beaufort in the Sac State roster, will no longer be available. Can't wait for the last 3 games to turn into Int Central. You know it. Let's get a game. Let's get a little bet here. So 27 for Fisher, 10 for Fisher, 0, 10, and 0. Ooh. All right. They either blow up or they bomb out. Fisher over under 9.5 KP. Here you guys go. 2 minutes. I know it's a little uncreative, but there you go. Where is ISU, Holy? They are right there on the edge. Right there, 12th right now. Icarus, UCF, they're currently just barely holding on as well. 8th with 30. But hey, 30 games to go. One more on E-District before we hop on over to Storm Point to finish out the day. There's your prediction. Get your bets in. Real quick, a checkup on the other lobby. UCSD, Kennesaw Black, Bellevue University, University of Utah, University of Calgary, Ottawa Pioneers, Purdue Black, Ferris State Crimson, Texas A&M, and Tennessee Tech. Someone is not in lobby. I personally do not know what team is not in lobby. If I had to guess, it's not USM. USM are still here. Whoever started Street Market is probably it. Let me check the drops. Charlotte? Yeah. Charlotte Niners usually start Street Market. I told you. They're done. Damn. Well, let's tune into Iowa State because last time around, they lost a fight they never should have dropped here. Iowa State, they're going to play their respects, but you can't give them too much confidence. Group D, the first knock from Thorek Spinks and William and Mary. They're losing. Oh, my gosh. Iowa State. William and Mary have conquered Iowa State 2 games in a row. Iowa State only have Storm Point to solve their issues. Meanwhile, Fisher Esports, I'm just gonna drink my bang because, guys, I told NCAT to run. I told NCAT to run. I gave them the information. I didn't tell them a damn thing. But everyone knows. Everyone knows Fisher Esports sends this. Revy's gonna get a knock on the Dom 2 crack there. That's a nice return. But you better be running for the hills because you've got a storm coming. Please run. Please run. Please run. Why are we not running? Why are we not running? Why are we not running? Revy, you're not beating Golden. This has been incredible thus far. I'll give you that. NCAT, you've gone further than I expected. There is no way Golden is losing to you. Revy, you have all eyes on you to impress the world. And there was never a chance to begin with. Fisher Esports, not as dominant in that exchange, but I will still say a winner nonetheless there. They're going to get the time to revive, albeit taking their time on the outside of zone. NCAT, a 0-0 donut on Storm Point. He got the KP. All right, 1 point. 1 point, 1 point. TMU, a follow through on some weird shit. I used to use some bots for real. Magic Trickster, shush, you're in game right now. Technically. Oh, hey. Can we get a competitive check on Xyla? Can we get a competitive check on Xylook? You're not supposed to fall. You're not supposed to fall off the mat. When you get full sent, you take it like a man, okay? Magic, genuinely, please don't reply to chat. Right now, you are still alive in game, and it ruins. It does. I know it's just William and Mary, and you guys, you know, what will happen will happen. But remember, we're on a 5-minute delay. West Virginia Wesleyan got the KP for that. Good. Thank you. Never. I hate that. That is my least favorite thing in competitive Apex when teams drop off the map to deny KP. It's so cringe. West Virginia Wesleyan will finally find the full finish on the TMU Bold. Purdue Asimpo is not far away here, but we'll see how it goes. Couple of that Sparrow's ultimate was far. Long range snipes in the hands of Bowling Cat and the rest there. You can hear that charged up Sentinel from the other side. University of Ottawa Gaming Garnet finished off by Cumberland here as we breach into our top 15 squads remaining. And not gonna lie, the infest and the quality has begun to drop. Teams are trying to catch up every way they see fit. Here's William and Mary, and with a drop onto Rye, Dougstar, and Magic Trickster with one last peppering in from none other than USM. This is probably going to be the final finish onto William and Mary. There's the Maggie ball, the blast to go with it, then the speed on the side. One slide around the edge, and there we go. 1, 2, 3. And that'll be all said and finished. Fisher Esports, though, sneaking up right around the corner. Ooh, does USM know? Does USM know? Right towards the edge, and yep, they know. All right. I love getting stuck between Fisher and USM. Well, hey, you took ISU to Pound Town 2 games in a row. You found your own success on E-District, all right? No one will ever forget William and Mary dominating ISU 2 games in a row, okay? You take your dubs where you can, Magic Trickster. You take your losses as well. Now, Cumberland University, they'll share the exact same building as the Western Outlaws. Ooh, Weston, you gotta pray that Watson fence line will survive, because it is the only thing between you and a Cumberland finish. Now, Western has picked up a dub this game. Cumberland University, I don't know. I think they're still looking for a win. No, Cumberland won game 2. Well, a Mad Maggie ball, and we are throwing utility at the wall, and we are praying that it will stick. Big beams from Goblin on top, but Future Streams is just as deadly. Sadly, if you're going to commit to a beam, you better bring someone down with you. The only saving grace for the likes of this roster is the fact that they've got Watson on Watson support here. For some reason, we're not playing in it. Western, you set up with defense. You have Watson fence lines, and you choose to run up the stairwell. You are lucky you get this revive off because you play like an absolute buffoon. Now, this fight has taken too long. Edge of zone. I would not be surprised if we see someone walk into it here in just a second. I mean, there's no way you extend for that long in the center of zone and you don't have RIT or UCSC chopped. Take a look at this building when the shots start getting and the pops start pipping. SJSU, they'll fly right into the edge and I guess oob it in. I mean, this is... They can play the low ground, outside street market. If they got an evac, I mean, they're fine. 14 squads remaining, and RIT Orange is the squad that I was discussing for the third-party potential play onto Western or Cumberland here. One bad peek from the stairwell, and that could be the opening entry frag damage from RIT to start the end of a fight that has been going on for too long. St. Clair Saints, they're holding out the very southern side of zone, and hey, there we go. Future Streams with a knock on to Lock Sanity. Jack with a knock on to Speed Demon. That's Minnesota. And our entire north side of zone continues to explode. The Watson fence lines have been destroyed. I assume it had to be something like an EMP, but crypto is banned, so it couldn't have possibly been. Either way, that's it for the Western Outlaws. Cumberland will find their success. And now you've got to survive the onslaught of just about everybody else here. SJSU, the minute they step up, you've got RIT double Mozams to present from up on high. Ton of clay with the heady, piercing spikes and a burn around the back. Rochester will be brought down, and our lobby continues to collapse. A banner recovered here on to Speed Demon. Minnesota State Mavericks as a duo will continue to try and thrive. I can't say the same for SJSU, but they at least have the banner as well. Remember, though, there are plenty of teams that are going to wrap into draft point and potentially play for the same space. St. Clair Saints, Southern Mississippi, and West Virginia Wesleyan here. West Virginia Wesleyan, the only savior for SJSU, is they've gotten a little bit of stucco on the doors, and they're all good. Fisher already told us they're aping us on Stormpoint. We are launched, and they are Dev Coast. We may be cooked. Magic Trickster. I have Coach Zephyr here. This is a man who's coached literally hundreds of Collegiate Apex games. Run. Don't loot, just run. Run immediately. Don't loot. Run. Run. Simply run. Take a look at what's available on the map. Run somewhere else. I'm not even kidding you. You're not going to win that fight. Run. I don't care if you pick up a gun. Run. Don't listen to Ivyless. Ivyless is stupid. Ivyless has faith in a roster that is not going to win that 3v3. Here's how you actually win. Run. Run. And if you didn't hear me the first time, run. Now, SJSU Blue, they could be looking like they could do a little bit more running. Couple of shots from Schmub and the rest here. And Minnesota State Mavericks, they're not much better either. West Virginia Wesleyan have turned the kitchen into a cookery here, and I feel like everybody's getting flambéed, a complete fish fry, and it's going to be down in the depths below that everybody is wiped out. San Jose is the first to be removed, and from up on high, West Virginia, I mean, they might be, full thirsted by the Fisher team. We talk about a flambe. It's a good thing Kingfishers love to eat sea life. That's going to be the full burn. Oh, my God. Slothulus misses out on the placement of the drill, but an Ash teleport play to follow through on. In West Virginia, one remaining member stands here inside of the draft point, and it is none other than YMV. Sadly, St. Clair Saints on the other end. One last tick from Lucky there, and honestly, they got to turn this one around because they got Fisher just alongside them as well. Purdue, Austin Poe, Minnesota gets a recovery outside of zone, and CSU Fullerton are the only teams not currently inside our draft point finish. Southern Mississippi, I can't believe we are dropping a Sparrow's ultimate from afar. They've already got a knock of one here, and they're going to commit for the full high ground send. Burms around the back. Michael YP will go out, and this is none other than the chopped roster caught inside. Sadly, they're not playing a Watson. They're not playing for recovery. And for Fishy, you're not playing anymore. 9 squads remaining, and it's the height of the KP Thirst Fest here from these rosters. Sadly, when you get this late into the day, you don't have a choice. Cumberland, there's the full wipe onto Fullerton. I can't even commentate it quick enough. You want to know why? Because you don't get to survive. 8 squads down. And realistically, there's a lot of place to play. Okay, you say run, but if we win the 3v3, that'd be pretty cool. If I was your actual coach right now, Magic Trickster, you would be getting the full wrath of you'd be getting the full wrath of Zephyr. That's all I'm gonna say. JD Vance killed the Pope. Welcome back. An absolute legend and a fan favorite here on the Zephyrcast stream. This is the type of guy to steal your money. We're currently checking out semifinals. Lil Pina, thank you for the follow. PD first, please stop encouraging him. He is not going to win the fight. He is not going to win the fight. They are not capable of beating Fisher. Fairy tales and stories are for children. Giraffe Sensei, thank you. Is this last game? No, Goth Girls, we still have 2 more to go. We're going to pop on over to Storm Point after this one. And honestly, I have no idea what's that going to look like. Purdue Asenpo in from zone and right into St. Clair Saints. Remember, though, on the other side of this fight, there's none other than Rusty G, a man, a myth, and a legend who has carried St. Clair on their back this entire season. And it's not going to be the full wipe yet. Southern Mississippi, though, hearing those shots, they're going to pull up on the high ground of Bridge. No matter what, whoever and however they commit here, Fisher Esports might be getting involved. Purdue Awesome Post stuck on the low, and I want to see them rotate underneath. Go underneath. Slide for the fishes. Play in the water. All right? You needed to move. You need to move. Southern Mississippi from up on high. They cannot drop down because they are playing for success. Minnesota will be full thirsted here. And just as we see Purdue Awesome Post slide onto the other side of zone, only 2 will survive. They had to have made that exchange a hell of a lot quicker. 4A and Dreamer. This is not a bad spot to work with, especially the other side of that bridge. The problem is you are letting USM walk right in front of you and take away so much space. Keep rotating. 4A, Purdue Dreamer, just as quickly as they show up to the next iteration of this play, it's just as quickly as USM are here to try and snipe them out. Zach W. Keys finally cannot commit any longer to the edge of zone. And Purdue, by the grace of God, has been allowed to survive there behind the boxes. Southern Miss and Fisher, they'll survive up on high ground. Meanwhile, Southern Mississippi, couple of big burns around the back, and with one last leap, a couple of choice 30-30 shots. Phallus shreds the end of Purdue there. Top 7. You're going to need a lot more than that, Purdue, if you want to make it to finals. Sac State, they've managed to keep it quiet all game long. USM Fisher 3v3, it could happen here, but for now, we've got Sac State, a trade of their own. Couple of big breaks on the shield and a complete rotation from the southern side of zone. Quick wrap around the back, and instead, USM Uber are currently fighting St. Clair Saints. UCF, they've made it to the top 6. They can be proud of themselves here, but when you've got the entirety of the SAC roster behind you, I can't imagine you're going to thrive. Now, a little Sparrow, a little appetizer before the main course here. Beaufort trying to peek through the catwall, but instead a trade on the other end. UCF Knights are putting in some serious work here, but still, the wall is down. Couple big exchanges, drill on the return. UCF, they have, acclimatized to the pressure. And they're still in it. Now Cumberland University, they're going to turn their attention towards this rotating Sac State roster. And while they'll dodge out a couple of vert nades, they're not going to be able to play this one completely confident. Southern Mississippi and Fisher into the same building. That'll be a Sparrow's ultimate from Viz to start this one off. And Southern Mississippi have their entry frag. There's the burn around the back. The wall is ticking. A complete tactical. A Sparrow's ultimate. And Dam's got the knock of one. What turned for success is now a blast of another. A quick takeover of the door, but Fisher still are committing. Slothios will be full thirsted, and it's a 2v2 here between the likes of many. Fisher, it's just up to Dom, and USM will still find success, even though they were the first to drop. Cumberland University down from their high ground, a wipe onto UCF Knights, and they'll have to turn their attention immediately to the inside. USM have not gotten their revive, and they're just above Cumberland, Sac State, Southern Mississippi. Here they are. 3 squads left. Sac on the outside, Southern in one building, Cumberland in another. Right now, Sac have not won a game. Cumberland have picked up 1, and Southern have picked up 1. This could be double dubs for the first time in Lobby A, or it could be the win that Sac has been vying for all day long. Now, the one thing playing against Sac is the low ground here. It highly depends how Cumberland and USM choose to play out of their height. Granted, Sac State is the only team playing the exterior, so that can't help them in this finish. But if you just see a full send knock, a finish, a drop from Southern Miss as they feel like they got lucky, that will be what splits the difference. Sac State have to be perfect. They have to put serious damage that pushes Southern Mississippi in to the likes of Cumberland. The zone is closing, and it is the only evident thing. The only promise in Apex Legends. Cumberland and Southern Miss are going to hold on to their height for as long as possible, and this is what might come back to bite them. Slasher sniped out, and Zach W. Keys rips with the nades. That's the full thirst onto Slasher. Southern Miss for the commit. 1 remaining member, and Dallas cannot go down here. That's the thirst. And there's no time for Sac to get into the action. They're now simply the team on the low ground. A Sparrow's ultimate has extended from above. There's no pressure for Southern Mississippi. They simply have the best LOS gifted to them here. Another big beam, a crack onto Sac. Raquaz is down, a 2v3, a commit. That's it for Bass with Beaufort, a single member remaining. Southern Mississippi are your second dub of the day. Congratulations to Southern Mississippi. They are the first team to pick up 2 wins here during semifinals in Lobby A. USM might be my new favorites. Well, hey, I hope you get to watch them in Pro League, because just after this, they're going to go compete in PSQs. I think Beaufort's their better player, by the way. Not too sure. Yeah, he literally played in Pro League. Say Dada. Dada? Dada. Why? That's really weird. Dude, by the way, someone in TikTok named 911 number 2 just shared my stream. Incredible. I was one of the only people who bet under. Well, with Earth making a claim, let's take a look. Game 6, I asked you guys over under 9.5 KP for Fisher. It was a 8 KP game. Can you believe it? 2 away. And Fisher, had they won that fight against USM, would have walked away with the over. They call my lines close. I call them razor thin. Congratulations to the 10% of investment that has now ballooned. Let's look at this summary, because right now, Earth, you're walking away with 8,505 points. A massive win for you. Solaria Lunaris, 978, and not Koryu, 98. Sadly, our biggest losers, Croissant and Sir Garson, dropping 6,800 and 1,000 respectively. 2 more predictions to go. Let's look at our overall score line, because Southern Miss, they're good. Double wins, 87. The clear dominator of today right now. Cumberland University consistent with the best average placement right now at 4.0. Second, 78 for Fisher, 57 for Sac State. Western Outlaws at 51. RIT at 42, who's right on the cusp with 2 games to go. And Minnesota, UCF, St. Clair Saints, and yes, still holding on. Purdue, Austin Poe, constantly flip-flopping with TMU Bold, and yeah, Iowa State Farmers right there. CSUF, West Virginia, William & Mary, Ottawa, Charlotte Irish, NCAT, UCSC, and San Jose. Remember, top 10 move on to tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern in the Stage 2 finals. And sadly, bottom 10 are eliminated from Stage 2. Their journey will come to a close. 2 games to go. A catalyst has been banned. Your only controller pickups are between the Rampart and the Watson on Storm Point. You do have the Newcastle. That's going to be a saving grace, and that is tough. Fullerton and SJSU have never missed a finals, and they're both bottom 10 right now. It's a tough place to be. I think for SJSU, it's probably over. For CSU Fullerton, though, they still have a chance. CSU Fullerton needs 1 good game here on Storm Point. Here are the drops before we get into it. You've got, of course, Fisher right there, William & Mary and Launchpad, Sac State, Echo HD. Cumberland University is going to be playing out of, where are they? Bean? Okay, NCAT might get sent. Watch out, NCAT. You might get sent in Cenote. Charlotte Niners, Zeus Station, Southern Miss. If Charlotte Niners aren't here, Southern Mississippi has like an entire 2 POIs to loot outside of Lightning Rod. Purdue Austin Poe's got to be a little bit careful. Iowa State Farmers, thankfully, they don't have to deal with anybody in Ferrari. That's nice. Purdue, please. Good luck. Good luck. Show us William and Mary. All right. We'll see. Truthfully got this. I love my goat. Well, let's start a prediction here. Does William and Mary survive to round 2? Yes, no. Honestly, this might be hard to keep track of. Might have to refund the points on this one. But here you guys go. 2 minutes on the board. Get your predictions in. Will William and Mary survive to round 2? It's currently 100% on the no. There's no faith into William and Mary right now. And that's okay. Personally, I find it understandable. All right. By the way, it's been a long day, a lot of energy. I want to thank you guys for showing up and supporting Collegiate Apex. If you like what we do here, and I say we, consider following the channel. I try to cover Collegiate Apex all year long. I also cover high school and other Apex competitions. As we get into the Pro League season, I'm probably going to start watch partying it as well, just because, come on. We gotta do something, right? And I put 5K on you. Woo! 8,700 on the yes for William and Mary. 2,200 on the no. All right. You guys are asking for it. Okay, game hasn't started yet. Yeah, no, it's starting. All right. Tell you what, Zephyr needs a bathroom break. I've been drinking this Bang all day long. Look at prediction. With 20 seconds left to go on the prediction. Whoa! There is 22,000 points up for grabs. You got 10 seconds to get in on this. Even just 10 points. The prediction has finalized. Coco has dropped 20,000 points on the no to William and Mary surviving the early game. If you're Sleep King right now, if you're Alex, Ivyless, Adhesive, Solaria, Gomez, Croissant, you could be walking away with an absurd point exchange. 72% is on the no side, and honestly, we're going to have to see how it goes. I will say, fair warning, I'll be watching as much as I can, but we're going to have to watch that kill feed very, very explicitly. The observing has already taken place, okay? The observing was already set in stone in the past. Okay? Bobby Dang! Bobby Dang! I love that name. Bobby Dang. Thank you so much for the follow, Bobby Dang. You have pushed us over the hump. We are now at 2,151 followers. Can we get to 100,000? Guys, can I get 100,000 followers on Twitch? What up, Big Doggy? I thought you said Big Doggy. I was like, honestly, I'll take the doggy. I like that. Big Dog's doing pretty good. We're coming in last 2 games of the day for semifinals in Collegiate Apex. Team listening with who, Icarus? UCF? How the hell am I supposed to listen in? Oh, shit. Well, I told them to run. They should have listened. Hold on, Icarus. Hold on. Ride Doug Star has fallen for William and Mary. There's 2 remaining for the William and Mary roster, and that'll be another. Thoric Spinks has been eliminated. And I told you to run. A quick crack. And the very first team eliminated this game is none other than William and Mary. All right, the prediction payout is done. Does William and Mary survive to round 2? Easy money. Congratulations to those of you who bet no. Guys, we need another bet. We need another bet. All right, how about this one? Round 6, over under 3 squads. 3.5 squads, over under. 2 minutes on the board. You guys can bet on the finish. Somebody spot me some coins. Hey, you can get as many coins as you want. All you need to do is, by the way, I want to announce this. We're going to do some giveaways tomorrow for the stream. How do you guys? Open map, please. I mean, I don't control that. Once again, my hands are up in the air. There you go. Little map for as long as it will stand. Hopefully that's the information you needed, Solaria. Get your predictions in. 1 minute 30 seconds. Over, under, round 6. 3.5 squads alive. NCAT will be wiped out by Cumberland. And honestly, I don't think many people are going to be surviving, because when you have to hunt for your KP, you've got to get aggressive. West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju's a team that's already finding their purchase in the fights here of the downed beast. Fishy will be wiped out. And that's going to be the chopped rosters, star-studded Fragger eliminated. UCSC chopped out in 16th. Also, the camera individual is awesome. Guys, give a big shout out to Zephyr Observes. That's right. I'm Zephyr Casts. Give a big shout out to Zephyr Observes. They are my official observer that has done every single collegiate match this entire season. Atmo size the go. Whoa, shh. You're not supposed to know that name. No, they do a great job. All right. The FaZe, you're a double duty duo. Dastardly and destructive. Maybe death upon them. Ottawa Garnet Gaming. I can't rhyme with G very much. My alliteration has flopped here in the end. Hi, Atmosai, you're the best observer. You guys get some hearts. Some hearts. There you go. Don't mind the grammar. Trust, do the same, predict next game. We don't lose twice in a row. All right. We'll see how it goes. Albeit, you better fight them then. Chud boy. Iowa State Farmers, not a chuddery team, but had struggled on E-District. Remember, it was William & Mary that wiped them 2 times in a row here. Iowa State. They've already found a couple of snipes, but realistically, the Farmers, come on. We need to harvest. We need to finish the job. We need to farm this one up. Looks like future streams, by the way, a full thirst against YMB and West Virginia Wesleyan. What can you say? Cumberland University, they've already split the pack there on the edge of Down Beast. And West Virginia, they might be going out fairly early here, 15th overall. It's just a shame. UCF Knights, they show up and show out right up alongside University of Ottawa here. The majority of our teams, got to give credit where it's due. About 8 squads are actually playing well within the zone. Cumberland University, they'll take their throne out on the whip and on the straightaway. Kaya and Drake, no life for you today. That's going to be the full scan and the full finish. Future Streams has already dropped off the kiddies. And that's going to be one last night before the Lifeline Ultimate can even arrive. West Virginia Wesleyan out in 15th here. Let's pop back on over to Fisher Esports because TMU, I don't think they realize the threat that exists alongside them. With Nitfin going down almost immediately, though, I'm hoping you've learned. TMU bold. Inside the building. Oh, they just don't know. Oh, they just don't know. Dom with the peak play. Golden from the other side. And TMU Bold have nowhere to go. They need to beat Dom. They need to beat anybody. KQL will find at least a drop of 1. But when you're sitting on just a tick of health, Slothulus has arrived. A drill from the other side to survive. A ball to blast this one out. Another drill. A peek. A drop. KQL wiped out. A burn into the back here with one final push. Fisher Esports will find your Canadians destroyed. What can you say? What can you say? Iowa State Farmers, they're here to play. Ball and Cat and Purdue, Austin Poe. They take their time outside of zone and woo! That's a very, very good chunk of damage off of the wingy. The follow through from the Farmers, though, they've got the time to exchange. It's still a round 2 close. The runaway never quite got as far as it needed to. A full thirst onto the ball in there as 4A will go away. Come on, shoot them. Oh, it's Cumberland. Never mind. Kamal was trying to run back away because it's a third party. Never mind, Kamal. You're totally fine. That's a Zephyr cast flub. Well, Kamal, Group T. It's a struggle and a half for them. One remaining member in not Koryu, and that grab lift. Oh, it's USM! I swear they keep popping up out of nowhere. A trying grab lift recovery, and Cumberland might be going out just as quickly as ISU. Somehow, not Koryu's able to sustain a revive here right underneath the grab lift outside of the wall. And all 3 of these rosters, they magically survive. Now, RIT and Fisher, they join alongside these 3 as the last piece still fighting here on the edges of zone on the southeastern side. Sykin, I can't believe I'm saying it. Sykin is the last member alive here for Cumberland. Now, granted, you guys see, you took a look at that zone. With 7 squads now currently 8. 8 squads are all in that next zone. That's going to leave a lot of space available for Cumberland and a couple of these other teams to get themselves set back up. All right. Iowa, whether they know it or not, they could put the hammer down. Looking in the kill feed there, RIT, they've just gotten a snipe and a half against USM as Iowa State. There you go. Like I said, a quick revive onto Group T, and Sykin is gonna, what? Edge of zone here. Sykin's gonna have to heal at some point or do something because, my gosh, you are playing, I mean, further fit to fiddle. The minute you come out to Cedo Station, you could get gate kept. And we tune in with RIT. You guys saw that long-range knock onto USM for Parsnips. Doesn't seem like you're as successful against the full USM roster. They got a revive, but a Vert Nade's going to punish them in the same. Big Burns on the 45 with the break of the beam. 123 is the dastardly damage found here from Viz. Still, re-knocks in a scan. Viz can't commit to that revive because they'll know exactly where he is. Instead, RIT, much healthier, but still need to push into the play while they have the advantage. USM's a team that can play for success. A gravity cannon launch, though, tells me that USM do not want to play at a disadvantage here and are just as quickly routing away from the fight. St. Clair Saints is the next closest team just south of them there on that choke side. And RIT is back into the full field ahead. Not Rowan, a tick of health away. A knock from Dallas. USM can continue to play for success, but Dallas is the only remaining member here up north. Nice beam around the back, and the zone's going to force him out whether he likes it. A slow around the side. One last big beam. He needs to put as much as he can before. Here comes the cavalry. The entire USM crew has arrived. A full thirst against Dallas, but Parsnips will run for the hills here, out and over towards the waterfalls. That'll be a 2-thirst beam for Southern Mississippi here on the inside of zone. Viz and Zach W. Keys as a duo. I don't know if they'll finish the fight onto Parsnips, but at least they've got to get that banner recovery out towards Waterfall while they can. Now, Cumberland, they are still in the Black Sands. We've taken a vacation, apparently, and we're running our feet through the sand. Guys, I mean, they're not at risk here. Cumberland University has already qualified for finals, but we are not. Uber, they're not in zone. They're trapped in zone at this point. They're having their own D-Day out there. Yeah, out upon the Caltrops. They got Iowa State, and they're doing whatever they're doing. Now, San Jose State Blue, this is one of the last rosters in the entire leaderboard here. They are still sitting on single digits, and you're picking a fight against Fisher. Granted, nobody picks a fight against Fisher. Fisher finds you. They see that you exist, that you're playing Apex Legends, and they make it very clear that you should choose not to do that. Turn off your monitors, unplug your keyboard, because in most cases, there really is no difference. Ton of clay, Viking cap, Schmub, how far the goats have fallen. Schmub will get burned in return as Slothula is traded, and I've hyped up the success of Fisher, so if SJSU win this, I'm going to be really annoyed. It's up to Golden to 2v1 this one out for the final face ahead, and they're already sticking a revive onto Schmub. Fisher, you can't escape. You've already committed oh so too far here. And Golden, the best he can do is commit to the inside of zone. Cedo Station is the bare minimum. And San Jose State, they're going to go for the full rip here. Edge of nothing. And it's up to Golden and the rest to wipe it. A quick beacon recovery there. Golden's going to play this one to the inside of Cedo. It's a little bit of damage as Viking Cap's going to play the edge. Schmub is already low. Golden is sitting just a tick of health to boot. He does have the overheal. That crack's got to be perfect. And with all of my hype, Fisher Esports get blown out by currently one of the bottom two teams in this lobby. What a turnaround. What a performance. Western Outlaws are just sitting there and taking it. Well, not much more to say. 10 squads remain. Everybody is inside Cascades. W box shooting. Cap clutches these. Well, Nkosu, I mean, they're already on the wipe. University of Ottawa Gaming, Garnet. Woo! That wasn't even a fight. That was simply magging the dummies there. They're going to take over the southern side, but realistically, I'm going to call it right now. Whoever wins the fight out of Cascades is going to be the benefactor of the dub here. Southern Mississippi, Minnesota, and Cumberland, they're the only teams competing out of the Cascades area. And honestly, it's really going to come down to this fight. Rigatoni, I do not have a lead leaderboard, but close. One letter off. There you go. Is Austin Poe alive? No. Austin Poe has been wiped out here. It was a fairly early exchange between you guys and Cumberland. SJSU Blue, they are still thriving here, and from 20th to hopefully the top of the board, they've got the very edge of zone to their name, albeit it is a tight spot to work with. CSU Fullerton is the team that currently hosts the position right in front of them, and San Jose State needs to win this fight out before this is set up. Are we all alive? No. This is a figment of your imagination. College Apex and I don't exist. I'm actually just a really extreme LCD trip that you're on. LCD? LSD. LCD. I mean, if I'm 20th and Fisher lose to me, I'm full bagging it, not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, I was about to say, take your dubs where you can. University of Ottawa Gaming, Garnet, they're taking every ounce of the SJSU walk-in as much as they can. Southern Mississippi, by the way, they've given up on the play into Cascades there. They're going to play this one out from the east, up above. This is not a bad spot to work with, and you can re-wrap into Cascades if you see a fight advantage. Cumberland, Iowa State Farmers, and the Minnesota State Mavericks. They've got to make an exchange inside the zone. Meanwhile, Western Outlaws, a couple of shots against USM as San Jose State from behind the edge of tree. There is little to work with here, and they are still alive against Fullerton. University of Ottawa Gaming, Garnet could always climb this one up as we'll tune back in towards Cascades. Not Koryu's got the knock on to Meadsy. Minnesota State Mavericks from the inside. Lemon Squeezy. There's the black hole pull push, and Iowa State get fully wiped out here. Cumberland University, they can't commit to a third party because they really don't have an entry in, and that's going to be Minnesota State putting themselves back together piece by piece. Both of them still inside zone. Southern Mississippi, you saw the long range end against them on Western here just a second ago. Zach W. Keys and Thalis. Couple of long range snipes here on the other end. And realistically, it could be any exchange that delivers their dub. Southern Miss, they still got to walk into zone at some point, and they do not have the time to get themselves put back together. Leaky, leaky, leaky loo. All right, Fullerton, SJSU, University of Ottawa Gaming, Garnet. 11 seconds to go, and the commit has begun. SJSU with a peek on the rampart wall is that'll be Faustus blasting it out. A Sparrow's ultimate from behind as Loon will be brought down by Viking Cap with a trade of another. Both of these rosters are down to a duo. San Jose for another full thirst, and it's up to Schmub to wipe it out. Instead, Garnet will fall. Garnet will be finished, and it's Fullerton for the thirst. Still, a loss of Crimson Monk, and they need to pull themselves back together because Southern Mississippi has extended to the outside here to look for their exchange. Viz has disconnected. I'm not quite sure why, but it might because of late revives being unable. Instead, CSU at Fullerton have a time to recover. Cumberland, Minnesota up above. St. Clair Saints, their own rock towards the west. Western Outlaws, the center of zone. Southern Mississippi could look for this, but remember, as a duo, I mean, I know they can do it. You're sitting on triple blues in the center of round 5 on its close. Couple of full exchanges. Thalis, Zach W. Keys. They've got a final burn to go. CSU Fullerton, 5 squads remaining. And it is going to be round 6, 5 squads. Congratulations to those of you that took the over. Southern Mississippi. Nades around the back. That could be the entry frag damage they need. It's big, but Dallas will go down from Sycan. Cumberland are the benefactors. Cumberland from up north will finish the job. And with one Western peak, USM are eliminated in 5th. Cumberland, they turn their attention now to Western up above. And with this complete control on height, you need to see some kind of a finish here before the end zone begins. Meanwhile, Minnesota peeking. The edge in the corner that will be is no kind of safety here. The drop down from Cumberland, the full fight from Minnesota. Western Outlaws in the trees, and St. Clair the same on their knees. 4 squads remaining. Realistically, it could be St. Clair, it could be Western. Western do not have the health advantage, though, and they are losing out on their cover so quickly. The same to be said for St. Clair. And realistically, folks, it is going to come down to the very end. St. Clair for the dive. Cumberland and Minnesota, their own fight to survive. Rampart Walls setting up in the center pole here as Western Outlaws. They'll provide the shots against Cumberland versus Minnesota. A trade on trade as Cumberland are down to a duo. Minnesota is one remaining member, and from behind the knockdown, maybe a pylon will let them survive. St. Clair against Western. Southern side of zone. Tree versus the edge. It's Future Streams from up above, though, with a knock onto Rusty G. And that's your mainline fragger from St. Clair eliminated. Schmalz is still alive as Cumberland will be thirsted. Western Outlaws with a burn, a full commit, and a final finish here from behind the pylon. 3 squads and behind the knockdown. Western versus St. Clair will be the final fight here. Rusty is being revived on the edge of zone, but Western Outlaws have the advantage. It's their game to win. A 2v, a 98 crack, Goblin for the commit, a trade of 1, a full dive from behind the ramparts, a 1v1 exchange, but Locke has the health advantage. 75, Lucky for the heal. Rusty's still in it. It's actually a 2v1. Rusty for a light reset right around the tree. A wrap in the ring will follow. It's now 1v1. Rusty's not looking. Western Outlaws, their second win of the day. He wasn't looking. He wasn't looking. 1 died to ring. 2. St. Clair Saints, so close to winning that, but instead, Western Outlaws. I mean, it was their game to lose there. Western, triple. Let's take a look at the scoreboard one last time here before our final game of the day. After this game, we will be deciding the top 10 teams moving on to finals against 10 other squads here in semifinals Lobby B. Right now, Southern Mississippi, good. Cumberland, good. Fisher, good. Western, with double dubs in a 4th place right now, are locked. It's insane. Sac State, 57. You are good. Minnesota State Mavericks at 49. I'd say you're a commit. 47 for St. Clair Saints, and I think you're locked in. RIT Orange at 44, and given the way these numbers are falling, I think RIT is also in. UCF Knights, 37. Toronto Metropolitan Bold, 31. 1 point ahead Purdue Austin Poe. Here you guys go. By the way, get your predictions in. Will William and Mary survive to round 2? Yes, no. Get that one up on the board. 5 minutes or 2 minutes on the clock. Guys, got to get that locked in. 30 points for Purdue Austin Poe. 31 for Toronto Metropolitan. Austin Poe predict. We'll do the Austin Poe predict after the William and Mary survival prediction. Okay, I'll lock that one in towards the end if they survive. All in? Ivy just dropped all in on this predict. But hey. 28 points for the Iowa State Farmers. They are only 4 points away from usurping Toronto. 26 for CSU Fullerton. A very real exchange for them as well. 6 points to make the jump. University of Ottawa Gaming Garnet, it gets a little bit harder. They need 11. West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju, as great as their run has been this semester, you're going to need to make a massive exchange, all the way 13 points, your best performance of the entire day. And William and Mary, Charlotte Niners, you better start praying. We got 4,000 on the yes, 5,000 on the no. Good luck. Will William and Mary survive? The no has overtaken 6.3 thousand on the no. Get your bets in, less than a minute to go. By the way, a quick check-in with the other lobby. Kennesaw State Black, good. UCSD, good. University of Calgary, good. Bellevue, locked in. University of Utah, locked. Temple Cherry and Tamu, I would say they are also going to finals. Ottawa, our winners of stage 1, probably also locked in here. But Ferris State Crimson, Purdue Black, CU Boulder, Tennessee Tech, Kennesaw Gold, Illinois State Ribbers. I would even throw UT Tyler, Hawaii, and Texas into the mix. It is tough. Can Illini and Augusta still make it? No. 360, that's very funny, though. To do the math, Augusta would need a 25-point game if Purdue and no one else raised that bar. So, you know, good luck. You guys need to win it and kill a fourth of the lobby. What if I just... No, you had your chance. It's just Parks Out. What if I just play with Swivel? OY will show up to your house and execute you by firing squad. Sorry, no chance. All right. Predictions are locked in. 5.3 for the yes for William and Mary. 6.4 for the no. One last game to show. 20 teams enter. Or 40 teams enter. 20 teams leave. One last game of Storm Point. Here we go, folks. Think about it. If half official leave for the Open, William and Mary definitely live. Ivyless, they didn't leave. Fisher are still here. Southern Mississippi are still here. Yeah, they got time. They got time. Well, we'll see how it goes after this one. The next prediction's going to be Awesome Poe. Where are the points? I've given out all points thus far. William and Mary, they've got a little sniper's exchange there against Fisher. Fisher didn't fight them. Fisher didn't fight them. Fisher didn't fight them. Whoa, hold on. Round 2 has yet to arrive. There is still time. Fisher Esports decide to send it to the south instead. NCAT, your first team eliminated and currently all the way in 19th. They will be eliminated from stage 2. I don't know if it's a gift from Fisher or just complete absurdity. Sac State Esports, they're the ones taking the real fight against Fisher right now. And you guys have just been gifted a decision. Who knows? Maybe William and Mary are going to commit to the fight whether they like it or not. Dom 2 cracked, Golden and Slothulas. A tough spot to be, but right now, currently winning against Sac State. Raquaz is low, only less than 70 health to his name. Fisher, full health on the peak, blowing out these rampart walls almost immediately. There is no cover for Sac. Bass Lilac there, right on the edge. Just as quickly as they peak, it's just as quickly as they end. A big burn around the back, and it is just Bofer. Sac State will be eliminated in 18th here, and currently overall in 5th. Sac State is likely confirmed for your stage 2 finals. I gotta rip this scoreboard open while I can because I need to check this out. Here we go. I'll try to keep it updated as we go through.
I'm going there. Optics here.
William and Mary, they're actually rotating into zone from that Cascade side. It's not a guarantee yet, folks. Round 1, I asked you, will they survive to round 2? 3 minutes to go. If they survive in 3 minutes, It is a yes. San Jose State, though, they are not looking as good. The entirety of Cumberland has put their whole ussy into this fight here. And with the wrap around the rock, we're playing ring around the rosy. One final beam onto Viking Cap, and that is just SJSU Schmub with 60 health there, at least able to get towards Jurassic. Bro, San Jose, we're just playing Need for Speed Hot R Pursuit. What? Yeah, yes. San Jose State finished off. 2 minutes, 29 seconds for William and Mary. San Jose State, sadly, overall in 18th, will be eliminated from stage 2. We got that Black Sands finish, by the way. Right and out and into the open. William and Mary, little wrap from Fullerton, 2 minutes to go. They're going to try to get this all the way up the zip line. They got to be careful. Fullerton is nearby. But if they get to command center, I think we see a Fullerton full finish. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, did they survive? $15 squads. Looks like we're tuning into Western Outlaws. Sorry, I was gonna die if I didn't do that. Minnesota State Mavericks are much healthier in the H4P exchange. University of Ottawa Gaming Garnet, a trade against SM. Looks like TMU were finished. Thank you, A Singular Frog. And honestly, USM, they don't lose this exchange. One final dive below, and University of Ottawa Gaming Garnet will go out. If TMU, by the way, is officially wiped out, that is the 10th place team no longer in the lobby. This is a chance for Purdue Osimpo. This is a chance for ISU. These teams have the opportunity, CSU Fullerton, to jump into the top 10. I was in a match. Are William and Mary up? William and Mary are officially in it. Cumberland and Fisher, a fight to decide maybe our end game. Titans v Titans, fleshbound for future streams here, and Cumberland is looking a hell of a lot healthier. Slothios with a quick heal, though. That's going to be Dom with the tactile reset. Meanwhile, Big Burns on the 99. No one's gone down yet. A trident for recovery. A dive off of it as we leap from outside the seat here. Dom, you're first to fall. Cumberland, a trade onto Slashers. From behind the knockdown, Psychic is just a tick of health. Fisher, a climb up and into the pyramid. They will dive. Sloth is on the other side trying to thrive. A beautiful drill, and I don't even know where it goes. Golden will find the knock, and Fisher will find the dub. Cumberland University, they were in second, but with that win, Fisher may overtake them for a top 2 finish here today. And yes, William and Mary survived to round 2. All right. Who makes top 10?
Moving that way.
Will it be ISU Farmers? Will it be Purdue Osimpo? Or will it be CSUF? You guys got 1 minute to get your bets in. 1 minute. 13 squads remaining. And it is going to come down to the very last moment here. Remember, with TMU Bold already out, it is guaranteed that one of these rosters usurp them. Not all of them can, though. UCF Knights are still in the game, so only one team is going to be able to make that switch. Is it ISU Farmers? Is it Purdue Osimpo? Or is it CSUF? 30 seconds on the board. Get your bets in. I only have one bet right now. 200 on Purdue Osimpo. There we go. 1K on the Farmers. Nobody on Fullerton. I need one person on Fullerton. There we go. The bets are locked. Everybody's got it in there now. We'll see how it falls. I don't see William and Mary. William and Mary made it. Oh, West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju. They've got their own success inside the IMC. Did CSUF go out? Yeah, William and Mary are still right there. They're going to make it to Zone 3. They're right outside of Southern Mississippi right now. Well, GG to CSUF. Their dreams of making the top 10 have already come to an end here. It's between Iowa State and Purdue Austin Poe. Right now, Iowa State's got to fight against UCSC Chop. They have to win this exchange against them. And for UCSC Chop, the same to be said. Vantage on the sniper's mark, and Michael will get a drop onto Kamala. Trade from Meadsy, and it is Minnesota Mavericks with long-range shots that keep ISU in the fight. Might be able to sustain a complete reset there. A little zip line recovery off of the Pathfinder. Iowa State, they're playing for what they can, but they've been gifted survivability in the face of Santa Cruz here. Western Outlaws, they'll find another knock against Santa Cruz, and they are also providing more success for the ISU roster. ISU, whether they find Michael or just keep living, they have been guaranteed a finish possibly into that top 10. Vattery, welcome to the stream. Don't tell me about Lobby B. I don't want to know a single thing about Lobby B yet. We'll check it after this game. Thank you so much for the raid. Let's finish off semifinals with a bang. Now, William and Mary, our star-studded, attention-driven team, might finally run into the comeuppance of Fisher. VOD was camping on the toilet. All you have to know is I played 3 games fully because the other 5 is spent having to get up and... What? Vattery has food poisoning. Best of luck to him today in the PSQs. Wow, Fisher and Southern Mississippi are right there on the eastern side of zone. Southern, they've already got big damage onto the Trident. Fisher's left one behind. Now, granted, this could be alternative LOSs, but this is a competition, Titan v Titans, and it's going up above. A knock on to Viz, and USM have already got the lead they need. Fisher Esports, another drop. Zach W. Key's the next to be found. And we tell you, there's one remaining member for Southern Mississippi. You hope they've taken the river to the Black Sands here because, nope. Dallas is stuck up above. You can hear the climb to his right, by the way. Well, he's going to try. A nice gravity cannon, and that's going to be a little bit of a recovery there. 28 seconds to go, and yes, Fisher could commit for this if they want. They have the way back into zone, but remember, with a nice scan on the edge there, you're going to find out that there's currently, well, one edge held, the other not as well. 12 squads remaining. TMU Bold is out. Will it be ISU Farmers or Purdue Austin Poe to break into the top 10 here? Fisher, oh, that might be the worst possible thing for Purdue. Fisher Esports have decided to rotate in from wall. This is tough. It's going to be William and Mary. William and Mary would need quite a bit. Where's the overstat at? Exclamation point now. Exclamation point leaderboard. Exclamation point score. There we go. Fisher Esports. Apparently we've flown on in, and Austin Poe will face a knock. There's the full commit here. And if Austin Poe want any chance of making finals, it's time to leave. It's time to run. It's time to do anything but die. Dreamer from up above will find a knock, but in return will be thirsted by Golden. Fisher are just as quickly playing for recovery, and it's up to Ballin' Cat to keep this one ratting for glory. This has opened the door wide for teams like ISU to take this one away. They've got a fight of their own, and just as quickly as we pray for their success, Purdue will fall, and ISU will wipe USM. A quick exchange, and that's going to be ISU finishing William and Mary just as quickly. I'm not going to count my eggs before they hatch here. But I'm pretty sure with that exchange, the Iowa State Farmers might have made the top 10. 9 squads remaining. And we're going to have to wait and see. You still have teams that are on the cusp here. West Virginia Wesleyan are still in the lobby. West Virginia have a really good spot too. But ISU are farming. A knock onto Jack. And remember, KP will be the difference maker when we are this close to it. Minnesota State Mavericks, they've got a cup of that building. Kamal is committing. And this can be the fight that would win them that top 10 spot. But it's got to be absolutely perfect. They don't get the burn onto the rampart wall. Instead, finally, it's the last chunk of damage there. Instead, an arc snare. As Minnesota do have that one set up. Instead, Minnesota State Mavericks stuck on the low ground. Meadsy with no massive shot to behold. It is going to be Fisher Esports, though, committing for West Virginia Wesleyan. A big burn around the back as Envy's already been removed. Dean's got the clutch snipe away, but with Dom still alive, you have never truly finished Fisher here. One remaining member for West Virginia Wesleyan, and it's going to be one final burn that might seal the difference here. Inside the IMC Armory, Fisher's going to get a reset, and all Iowa State have to do is survive. St. Clair Saints green, UCSC chopped, everybody's still outside of zone. UCF Knights currently 9th overall, surviving this far has guaranteed them. What ranks are they? A lot of these teams are Master Pred level. Some play in Pro League. You see Santa Cruz. Couple of thermite nades right on the edge of the door there. Remember, ISU, they've got to start to commit to some of these fights. There's not enough buildings, and West Virginia will go down. The beams don't land for Michael there right on the edge, and the full commit from Minnesota versus ISU. Massive cracks, and it's instead Santa Cruz who will slice their end. Meadsy will find that full thirst and instead needs to recover out from over the wall. The rest of Santa Cruz tries to commit, but is just as quickly sniped away from the rock. Callum and Fishy forced to slide back down to the bunker that be. 8 squads remaining. Fisher in the IMC Armory. St. Clair Saints finished off, and Iowa State Farmers on the outside of building continue to commit for success. Teams like UCF Knights, they've already bought their ticket. They're going on their way to finals. Oh, look! Oh, look! Thank you for the subscription, a caster friend. Thank you so much, man. Let me finish up the semifinals with my full onus, because this is the last moment for 20 of these teams. After this, their journey in Collegiate has ended for the spring. Couple of snipes. Kraber knocks, and it's Schmalz with the 99. Minnesota State has arrived. Meanwhile, a window peek, and the UCF Knights are pinched from either angle. Iowa State Farmers know the heal has come through here, and Group D's gonna commit from the zone side into the edge. Oh, the rampart wall plays to his advantage, and that's it. Dom 2 cracked from Fisher, a commit from the exterior. Schmalz, the last remaining member of Minnesota, and from the other side, one big burn. ISU will take themselves to the top 5 with one last push here. Fisher, it's a 1v3 against Iowa, and with one click around the edge of the IMC, one last scan, Iowa State, will it be enough? Top 5, a ton of KP. A lot of these teams are already qualified. UCSC, though, they are the team that still needs this most. Right now, UCSC, they are in 20th. I think it's over. I think ISU have done it. We'll have to check at the end game. 4 squads left. RIT stuck as a duo. Right now, UCSC no better. A duo. Fishy's getting sniped by Fisher and the rest. And this is probably going to be a Fisher dub. Western Outlaws, though, they could look for their 3rd win of the day here from the IMC Armory. I mean, they've got the pole. It is their game to lose, but... the devil! In one moment, Dom has single-handedly wiped Western Outlaws. RIT's gonna commit here, and I don't think they have the passion or the pull. Slothulus with one knock, and with one final beam, Fisher Esports are your final winners of the day.
We have our Apex champions.
Congratulations, Fisher. 40 teams entered. They all competed today. Lobby A, Lobby B. 10 teams from each to compete in the Stage 2 finals. With one last refresh, let's take a look. Your 10 teams moving on are Fisher Esports, Southern Mississippi, Cumberland University, Western Outlaws, Minnesota State Mavericks, Sac State Esports, RIT, St. Clair Saints, Iowa State Farmers in their very final game, and UCF Knights. The 10 teams eliminated from spring with no more games to play this season. Purdue Austin Poe, TMU Bold, CSU Fullerton, U Ottawa Garnet, West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju, William and Mary, UC Santa Cruz Chopped, Charlotte Niners, SJSU Blue, and NCAT. Taking a look at our other lobby here. Your top 10 moving on and joining them in tomorrow's finals. University of Calgary Exodus with 3 wins on the day and 70 KP. Kennesaw State Black, UCSD Gold, Bellevue University, the University of Utah, Temple Cherry, Giga Maggies, Ottawa Pioneers, your former, by the way, Stage 1 winners. Purdue Black, Ferris State Crimson. Your 10 teams eliminated: UT Tyler, CU Boulder, Illinois State Redbirds, Kennesaw State Gold, Tennessee Tech, University of Hawaii, University of Texas, Florida, Augusta, and Illini. Tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. Central, 9 a.m. PST, Match Point Finals. Look at last 2 games. Real quick, I'll just look at them. ISU, they finished their last 2 games with 4 points and 12 points, which in their overall standing was 16. Oh, for Lobby B? Oh, Lobby B. We had Calgary with 30 and Calgary with 37. All right, they downloaded. Very cool. I'd be impressed if they do it tomorrow. All right. That being said, we've got one last major day, and it's going to have to go towards tomorrow. We've got the final Stage 2s. I'm sorry, I'm just so flustered. 8 incredible games, guys. 8 incredible games. By the way, your prediction, who makes top 10? The answer was the ISU Farmers. Tune in tomorrow, because I don't think there's going to be a single game that gets as electric here. Who, by the way, is streaming for the Open? Let's do a little. Who in my Collegiate? Because that's who I'm going to throw my viewership over to. Granted, that's kind of boring too. Hey! NC Panzer, thank you so much. Southern Miss. Zach W. Keys is not live. I don't see who's live on USM. Just wait till PSQ round 2 start. USM probably got a bye. Yeah, I was about to say most of those teams are probably gonna have buys. All right, we'll just raid somebody else. I want to thank you guys, by the way, for tuning in. If you want to stay up to date, tomorrow is going to be those finals. I might be back on later today for a more for fun event in just like a few hours, just to chill and hang out. But if you want to stay up to date with Collegiate, tomorrow morning, noon Eastern. Who wants like 90 viewers? It'd be very funny to give someone 90 viewers. Who's the funniest person we could raid right now? Wait, before you leave, can you watch the car clip? Send it. Someone find me someone with like no viewers. I want to raid someone completely randomly. All right. Sorry. Let's take a look. Ah, yes, my man with his shirt off. True Giga Chad stance here. All right, let's take a look.
You know how to do it? Yeah. You might fucking die out of there.
I love this. This is one of my favorite things ever.
Which nut? This one?
I don't know which one they're in.
I think we should get on this one, no?
Look, on the right nut. You should get out right now. Just get out, land on him. Get out. Landing on this right nut.
There's a guy right near and open.
You guys are seeing scores? Oh, whoops. I forgot to open it on the right one. Check this out.
You might fucking die out of there.
Look at this. What's crazier, by the way, with the Trident right now is you can do that.
I don't know which one.
Look at this. This is like oob on cocaine.
You should get out right now. Just get out, land on him. Get out. Landing on this right nut.
There's a guy right near and open. That.
On my roof, on my nut.
Single-handedly ruined awesome post chances. God damn it, Dom. All right. Z-Boy is live for PSQs. You could raid him. Ice Spiny. Ice Spinsy. Hold on, let me check something. I'm just going to No, he already got something. I don't want somebody with delay is the annoying thing. Someone with no delay right now. I love the PSQs, but it's round one. Spectacularly average. They have one viewer. Are they cool? Messing around in wild card. I have no delay. Oh, he just stopped? Okay, never mind. Ivyless? I mean, no one's going to really stay. I'm just doing it for fun. Newcastle scrim block. All right, Ivy. Why not? All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll probably be on later tonight just for fun. I'll just be chilling and doing an event with Burno. So if you want to check out that should be very, very cool or whatever it is. I'm going to take a little break here for about an hour. Tomorrow, though, 12 p.m. Eastern, match point finals. It's as good as it always gets. All right. Thank you guys. Consider follow, join it, etc. Yes, not Koryu. That's who.